Sid. Mag-ano ka lang. Magsalita na siya. Manong. Sa last niya, Manong.
The session is now called to order. Everyone, please rise for the national anthem. Rise silent, please. Please rise and remain standing for a silent prayer. Please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyang ka ng magiging, sa manlulupit, di ka masisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong baghaw, may nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidilig, ang bituin ng araw niya kailan pa may magdidilig. Lupa ng araw ng aming pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya dapat may mamapit at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we defer the calling of the roll. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
is there any objection? There being none, roll call is hereby deferred. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we now proceed with the reference of business and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of the bills and the solutions on the first reading, as well as communications and committee reports. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
is there any objection? There being none, motion is approved. The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of the bills and resolutions.
Reference of business. Bills on first reading. House Bill Number 5307, regulating the use of social media, providing protection for children, minors, and consumers. Representative Fernandez.
To the Committee on Welfare of Children.
House Bill Number 5308, amending RA Number 8047, otherwise known as the Book Publishing Industry Development Act. Representative Tutor.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill Number 5309, institutionalizing the alternative learning system in the basic education for out-of-school children, youth, and adults, PWDs, indigenous peoples, and other marginalized sectors of society. Representative Lara.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill Number 5310, regulating the manufacture, use, sale, packaging, distribution, and advertisement of vapor products. Representative Barbers.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill Number 5311, establishing a lung center of the Philippines in Bohol for the Visayas and in Davao for Mindanao. Representative Mentado.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill Number 5312, establishing a solid waste redemption and recovery system. Representative Xiao.
To the Committee on Ecology.
House Bill Number 5313, recognizing and promoting the cultural heritage of the Filipino ethno-logistic groups. Representative Xiao.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill Number 5314, establishing an extension office of the LTO in Calamba, Misamis Occidental. Representative T. House Bill Number 5315, requiring special license for public utility drivers. Representative Umali Maria Victoria.
To the Committee on Transportation.
House Bill Number 5316, granting lifetime validity of Philippine passports to senior citizens. Representative Ergel.
to the Committee on Foreign Affairs,
House Bill Number 5317, promoting open internet access, strengthening the National Telecommunications Commission, and expanding the rights of end users. Representative Romualdo.
to the Committee on Information and Communications Technology,
House Bill Number 5318, providing for the mandatory appointment of tourism officers in provinces, cities, and municipalities. Representative Swansing Estradita and Swansing Horacio.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill Number 5319, mandating restaurants and other similar food establishments in the PNMA and in the PNPA for members of indigenous cultural communities, indigenous peoples. Representative Tolentino.
to the Committee on National Defense and Security, and the Committee on Public Order and Safety,
House Bill Number 5335, creating the Department of Disaster Resilience. Representative Yap Eric.
to the Committee on Government Reorganization and the Committee on Disaster Management,
House Bill Number 5336, recognizing the participatory guarantee system as a form of certification for labeling organic products. Representative Colyamat, Zarate, and Gaite.
to the Committee on Agriculture and Food,
House Bill Number 5337, prohibiting the use of products containing genetically modified organisms on food and agriculture in the country. Representative Colyamat, Zarate, Gaite, Castro Franz, Brosas, and Elago.
to the Committee on Agriculture and Food,
House Bill Number 5338, requiring industries engaged in the exploitation of natural resources to give preferential employment to local residents. Representative Tolentino.
to the Committee on Labor and Employment,
House Bill Number 5339, declaring September 7 of every year a special working holiday in Maragonon, Cavite, to commemorate the birth anniversary of Revolutionary War hero Emiliano Regelio de Dios, to be known as Emiliano Regelio de Dios Day. Representative Tolentino.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill Number 5340, repealing the minimum height requirement for applicants to the PNP, the BFP, and the BJMP. Representative Nieto.
to the Committee on Public Order and Safety,
House Bill Number 5341, promoting open access in data transmission. Representative Pimentel.
to the Committee on Information and Communications Technology,
House Bill Number 5342, providing for the Magna Carta for Barangay Health Workers. Representative Pimentel.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill Number 5343, establishing a medical scholarship and return service program for deserving students. Representative Lara.
to the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill Number 5344, developing the cacao industry in Cagayan Valley Region, creating for the purpose the Cacao Subsidy Fund and the Cacao Research and Development Center. Representative Lara.
to the Committee on Agriculture and Food,
House Bill Number 5345, providing for tax relief during times of calamity. Representative Lara.
to the Committee on Social Services,
House Bill Number 5346, providing for a Magna Carta for barangays. Representative Lara.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill Number 5347, amending RA Number 7309, entitled Creating a Board of Claims under the Department of Justice for victims of unjust imprisonment or detentions and victims of violent crimes and for other purposes. Representative Suntay.
to the Committee on Justice,
House Bill Number 5348, strengthening the office of the Government Corporate Council. Representative Gonzaga.
to the Committee on Justice,
House Bill Number 5349, providing sick leave benefits of 30 days with pay per year to all public school teachers. Representative Castro Franz, Zarate, Gaite, Colyamat, Brosas, and Elago.
to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture,
House Bill Number 5350, requiring the registration of all users of prepaid SIM cards. Representative C. Alvarado.
to the Committee on Information and Communications Technology,
House Bill Number 5351, amending further Articles 29, 97, 98, and 99 of Act Number 3815 as amended, otherwise known as the Revised Penal Code. Representative Chipeco.
to the Committee on Revision of Laws,
House Bill Number 5352, allowing and regulating the use of motorcycles as public utility vehicles. Representative Castelo.
to the Committee on Transportation,
House Bill number 5353, creating the National Integrated Coastal Ecosystem Development Authority. Representative Castelo.
to the Special Committee on Climate Change,
House Bill number 5354, mandating all private and public offices and establishments to provide free parking spaces for bicycles. Representative Castelo.
to the Committee on Trade and Industry,
House Bill number 5355, mandating all private and public offices to allot at least 30 minutes free parking for couriers, messengers, liaison officers, and motorcycle riders who deliver goods either as part of their employment duties or in the conduct of their business. Representative Castelo.
to the Committee on Trade and Industry,
House Bill number 5356, prohibiting discrimination on the basis of age, racial, or ethnic origin, religious belief or activity, political inclination or conviction, social class, sex, gender, sexual orientation, gender identity, and expressions, marital or relationship status, disability, HIV status, health status, or medical history, language, physical features, and other status. Representative Castelo.
to the Committee on Human Rights,
House Bill number 5357 to 5360, converting various national high schools annexes into separate national high schools in the province of Benguet by Representative Fong Wan.
to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture,
House Bill 5361, renewing the franchise granted to FDS Radio Network Incorporated by Representative Benitez.
to the Committee on Legislative Franchises,
House Bill 5362, promoting the employment of senior citizens in government offices and private entities nationwide by Representative Ong Roni.
to the Special Committee on Senior Citizens,
House Bill 5369, creating a tourism development fund by Representative Aragones.
to the Committee on Tourism,
House Bill 5370, amending paragraph 3 of Presidential Decree number 37, creating the Nayong Pilipino by Representative Aragones.
to the Committee on Tourism,
House Bill 5371, establishing an elderly care and nursing complex in the province of Cagayan by Representative Lara.
the Special Committee on Senior Citizens,
House Bill 5372, creating the Cagayan River Basin Development Authority by Representative Lara.
to the Committee on Government Enterprises and Privatization,
House Bill 5373, making the barangay secretary and the barangay treasurer regular plantilla positions and entitling them to security of tenure and other benefits by Representative Abueg Saldivar.
to the Committee on Local Government,
Resolutions. House Resolution 507, congratulating and commending Marjeline Didal for winning placing first in 2 events during the 2019 Exposure All-Women Skateboarding Championship in Huntington Beach, Los Angeles, California, USA by Representative Tolentino.
to the Committee on Youth and Sports Development,
House Resolution 508, urging the House Committee on Human Rights to investigate on the saturation drives conducted by the Manila Police District at the Baseco compound in Tondo, Manila, and recommend measures to protect the rights of urban poor residents against unreasonable searches and seizures by Representative Brosas, Zarate, Gaiti, Culiamat, Castro France, and Ilago.
to the Committee on Rules,
House Resolution 509, directing the House Committee on Human Rights to investigate on the killing of 23-year-old Kim Lester Ramos in Marikina City by a police officer on October 5, 2019, and recommend measures to put an end to drug-related extrajudicial killing by Representative Rosas, Harate, Culiamat, Gaite, Castro France, and Ilago.
to the Committee on Rules,
House Resolution 510, commending Santa Cruz Savings and Development Cooperative for its remarkable contribution towards sustainable development and inclusive growth in countryside by Representative Kanama.
to the Committee on Cooperatives Development,
House Resolution 511, urging the House through the Committee on Human Rights to investigate on the killing of farmer Nathaniel Dodo Tagailo and Valencia Bukidnon by Representative Culiamat, Zarate, Gaiti, and Brosas.
to the Committee on Rules,
House Resolution 512, a drug-free house and strongly urging its members to voluntarily submit to a random drug test and show its commitment to the war on illegal drugs and to fulfill its constitutional mandate that public office is a public trust by Representative Barzaga.
To the Committee on Dangerous Drugs.
House Resolution 513, expressing profound sympathy and deep condolences of the House to the bereaved family of the late Aquilino Nene Pimentel Jr. by Representative De Los Santos.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 514, congratulating and commending the Philippine National Para Bowling Team for winning 8 medals in the second leg of World Para Bowling Championship 2019 by Representative De Los Santos.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Resolution 515, congratulating and commending Nesty Alcaide Peticio and Carlos Adriel Yulo for their significant feats in international sports by Representative De Los Santos.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Resolution 516, directing the DNR, DPWH, and LWA to immediately conduct technical assessment and evaluation on the water situation of the population barangays of Bambang and nearby municipalities province of Nueva Vizcaya by Representative Cuaresma.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 517, expressing the profound condolences of the House to the family of John L. Gokongwe Jr., Filipino visionary and pillar of the Philippine economy by Representative Marino.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 518, expressing the profound condolences of the House to the family of Mr. Lucio Bong Tan Jr. by Representative Marino.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 519, directing the Committee on Justice of the House to inquire on the deplorable spate of killings of judges and to recommend appropriate measures, preventive or otherwise, to protect them from threats to their lives while in the pursuance of their duties, including the creation of judicial marshals by Representative Veloso.
To the Committee on Rules.
Communications. Letter dated October 14, 2019 of Minerva Mortales, SUC President, Catanduanes State University, submitting their budget accountability report as of September 30, 2019.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated October 16, 2019 of Sylvester H. Bello, Secretary Dole, submitting department's report to Congress on the semi-annual report of the Philippine Overseas Labor Offices.
To the Committee on Labor and Employment.
Letter dated 21 October 2019 of Victor Yu, Provincial Governor, Province of Zamboanga del Sur, submitting the report on fund utilization and status of program project implementation for the quarter ended July to September 2019.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated 21 October 2019 of Emmanuel Herbosa, President and CEO, Development Bank of the Philippines, notifying the House that they required quarterly VFARs for the quarters ended December 31, 2019, March 31, 2019, June 30, 2019, and September 30, 2019 have been posted in the BBP website under the Transparency and Disclosures.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated October 22, 2019 of Maria Glida Lim, State Auditor Supervising Auditor, Other Groups CGS 1 and 2 Water Districts, and other CGS standalone agencies, Regional Office Number 6, COA, furnishing the House the annual audit reports on the various water districts.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated October 23, 2019 of Jaime H. Morente, Commissioner, Bureau of Immigration, DOJ, submitting their collection report of the Express Lane P for the third quarter of calendar year 2019.
To the Committee on Justice.
Email dated October 23, 2019 of Joseph Viola, submitting to the House the report on fund utilization and status of program project implementation for the quarter ended September 30, 2019, Province of Batanes on the LGSF, attested by Marilu Caico, Provincial Governor.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated October 24, 2019 of Cecilia Borromeo, President and CEO, Development Bank of the Philippines submitting the report on the utilization of funds for the unconditional cash transfer program.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter October 28, 2019 of Benjamin E. Jokno, Governor, BSP, submitting to the House the report on the Philippine financial system covering the first semester of 2019.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
Committee report, report number 74 of Committee on Natural Resources on House Bill 5421.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill 5437 as contained in Committee Report number 75, submitted by the Committee on Appropriations. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the bill.
Sorry. I direct the Secretary General to read the title of the bill.
House Bill Number 5437, an act extending the availability of the 2019 appropriations for maintenance and other operating expenses and other capital outlays to December 31, 2020, amending for the purpose Section 65 of the General Appropriations of Republic Act Number 11260, the General Appropriations Act of Fiscal Year 2019.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the chairperson of the Committee on Appropriations, the Honorable Sid Ungab, be recognized to begin sponsorship of the measure. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Honorable Ungab is hereby recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, House Bill number 5437 is a substitute bill to House Bills numbered 5400 and 5424, extending the availability of the 2019 appropriations for MOOE and capital outlay to December 31, 2020, amending for the purpose Section 66 of the General Provisions of RA number 11260 or the 2019 General Appropriations Act. May I request that the explanatory note of House Bill number 5400 be inserted into the records as my sponsorship speech. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no interpolators for the majority or the minority, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move we open the period of amendments. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other committee amendments, I move that we now proceed to consider the individual amendments, if any. Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to introduce any individual amendments, I move that we close the period of individual amendments. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move we close the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Ano ba ito?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading the House Bill number 5437. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Say name. Those who are in favor of House Bill 547, say aye. Aye. Those who are against, say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 5437 is hereby approved. On second reading.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend sessions.
Session suspended. Hindi kasi 3 days. Session resume. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we'd like to acknowledge guests who are in the gallery. We have the guests of Representative Carlos Isagani Zarate and the Makabayan Bloc from the Stand with Samar Leyte Network. They are Frenchie May Cumpio, Priscilla Lebico, Adriano Obiado, Roberto Pajares, and Bienvenida Cabe.
May the guest of Honorable Isagani Zarate stand to be recognized. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, Representative Zarate wishes to rise on a matter of personal and collective privilege. And we move that he be recognized.
Is there an objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. Honorable Zarate is hereby recognized.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Speaker. Ginoong Speaker at mga kasamahan ko sa Kongreso, ang kinatawang ito ay tumitindig para sa isang personal at kolektibong pribilehiyo upang ipabatid at ipaalala sa kapulungang ito at sa ating mga kapwa mamabatas ang tila walang katapusang pasakit, pagdurusa at bangungot ng ating mga kapatid sa silangang Kabisayaan. Noong nakaraang Nobyembre 8, Ginoong Speaker, 6 na taon na ang makalipas pagkatapos ng malagim na trahedyang dulot ng superbagyong Yolanda sa Eastern Visayas. 6 na taon na ang nagdaan. Kumusta na kaya ang ating mga kababayan sa silangang Kabisayaan? Nakakalungkot na 6 na taon na ang nagdaan, marami pa rin ang nananatiling naghihirap sa ating mga kababayan at hindi pa rin nakukumpleto hanggang sa ngayon ang mga naantalang proyekto para sa libo-libong biktima ng superbagyong Yolanda. Matapos ang bagyong ito, may 205,128 housing units ang nakaplanong itayo sa 14 na probinsya o 116 na mga bayan. Kaakibat nito ay ang inilaang budget na 75 billion pesos. Pero Ginoong Speaker, 6 na taon na ang nakalipas, nananatiling nakatiwangwang ang mga maraming pabahay, lumitaw ang mga isyu ng korupsyon, at walang malinaw na umuusad na investigasyon hinggil dito. Samantala, habang hindi pa tapos ang pagpapatayo ng ilang mga pabahay, pinabibilisan rin sa siyudad ng Tacloban ang implementasyon ng No Dwelling Zone. Simulat sa pool, hindi na pabor ang marami sa mga biktima ng bagyong Yolanda sa pagtatalaga ng No Dwelling Zone. Dahil dito, nasa 12 barangay ang humaharap sa posibleng demolisyon na hindi dumaan sa tamang konsultasyon mula sa mga maapektuhang pamilya at individual. At batay na rin sa ulat na dumating sa opisina ng kinatawang ito, para ito magbigay daan, ang mga demolisyong ito ay magbigay daan sa implementasyon daw ng ecotourism projects sa ilalim ng City Business District. Bakit nga ba tutol ang mismong mga apektado na lumipat sa mga Yolanda resettlement sites gayong mapapalayo sana sila sa danger zone, Ginoong Speaker? Ang dahilan dito ay dahil mas malapit naman sa death zone ang kanilang sitwasyon sa mga Yolanda housing units. Malayo sa ipinangakong ligtas na pabahay, hindi maaasahan ang mga pabahay sa panahon ng lindol at malakas na ulan, tulad na lamang noong nangyari sa Ridgeview Park, kung saan nagkaroon ng bitak ang mga kabahayan matapos ang lindol noong nakaraang Abril. Tumutulo ang mga bubong at binabaha ang mga bahay sa panahon ng malakas na pag-ulan. Bukod dito, mas napalayo ang kanilang mga kabahayan sa kanilang hanap buhay. Ayon sa ulat, bumaba sa 76% mula sa 95% ang mga may hanap buhay matapos silang mailipat sa Yolanda housing sites. Mula 20% na bilang ng mga magsasaka, bumaba na lamang ito sa bilang na 5%. Hanggang ngayon, hinahanap nila ang ipinapangako ng ating pamahalaan na livelihood programs. Sa kabilang banda, Ginoong Speaker, mas nalugbok sa kahirapan ng ating mga kababayan, lalo't wala pang kuryente at tubig ang mga housing units na ibinigay sa kanila. Ayon mismo sa mga biktima, gagastos rin sila na mahigit kumulang 3,000 piso para lang magkaroon ng kuryente. At araw-araw silang nag-iigib ng tubig sa halagang 4 na piso at 30 piso para sa inuming tubig. Mas tumaas din ang kanilang ginagastos sa transportasyon na ngayon nasa 50 piso mula sa dating 16 na piso lamang kada araw. Higit na mataas ang gastusing ito kaysa noong nakaraan at mas napalayo pa sa kanila ang access sa batayang pangangailangang serbisyo. May 7.1 bilyong pesos na budget sa tide embankment, pero walang budget para sa tubig at kuryente ng ating mga kaawa-awang mga kababayan. 6 na taon matapos ang Yolanda, sa malaking halaga ang ginagamit sa rehabilitasyon, ngunit di ito umaabot sa dapat sanay mga benepisyaryo nating mga kababayan. Higit sa lahat, nananatiling walang pinanghahawakan na titulo sa lupa ang mga maninirahan sa Yolanda resettlement sites. Nariyan ang kanilang pangambang sa anumang oras, kahit nasa resettlement site na sila, ay maaari silang paalisin mula sa kanilang tinitirahan ngayon. Noong 2006, matapos bisitahin ni Pangulong Duterte ang isang housing project sa Tacloban, sinabi niyang libre na ang paninirahan sa mga pabahay ng National Housing Authority. Kaiba itong pangakong ito sa Usufruct Agreement na sinusunod ng nakaraang administrasyon ng dating Pangulong Aquino. Matapos ang pagbisitang ito ni Pangulong Duterte ay inilabas ng NHA ang Memorandum Circular 2018-004 at Memorandum Circular 2018-005 para nasana sa distribusyon ng titulo ng pabahay. Pero Ginoong Speaker, halos 2 taon na ang nagdaan matapos ang naging deklarasyon ni Pangulong Duterte, wala ni isang titulo ng lupa ang naibigay sa kahit isang benepisyaryo ng Yolanda Housing Project at lumalabas na hindi pa ito nasisimulang asikasuhin o naipasa ng NHA sa mga local government units. Ang 6 na taon na dapat sanay na igugol sa rehabilitasyon ng mga apektado ng superbagyong Yolanda ay naigugol para sa hinihinalang korupsyon at katiwalian na nagpapapahirap pang lalo sa ating mga kababayan. Ginoong Speaker, mahalagang maimbestigahan at maisiwalat ang mga sinasabing mga katiwaliang ito. Makita na ang buong bayan ang naging proseso ng implementasyon ng lahat ng Yolanda housing projects at bilisan ang distribusyon ng mga titulo sa lupa na dapat sana ay naibigay na sa mga biktima ng Bagyong Yolanda. Dapat natugunan ang problema sa access ng mga batayang pangangailangan. Alalahanin po natin, Ginoong Speaker, doble-doble na ang pasakit ng mga survivors ng Superbagyong Yolanda. Biktima na sila ng bagyo noon, biktima naman ngayon ng kabagalan, kapabayaan at katiwalian sa pamahalaan. Mga kapwa kong mambabatas, Ginoong Speaker, dinggin natin at harapin ang kalagayan ng ating mga kababayang sinalanta ng Superbagyong Yolanda. Napakatagal na ng 6 na taong pagdurusa sa kawalan at napakabagal na serbisyo. Dapat kalingain ang mamamayan, kabilang at lalo na ang sinalanta ng kalamidad at Superbagyong Yolanda. Ito ang kanilang panawagan, ito ang hamon sa ating mga mambabatas na nangakong maglilingkod sa bayan. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Zarate to the Committee on Rules. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move we call the roll. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there an objection? The chair is none. The Secretary General is directed to call the roll.
Roll call of members. Honorable Representatives. Abante. Abaya. Abellanosa. Abueg Zaldivar. Abunda, Acop, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adjong, Advincula, Agabas, Agarao, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Genaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong, Andaya, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Mentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Berzaga, Baskug, Bautista, Bautista Bandigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biason, Billones, Biron, Bulilla, Bondok, Haloshos, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Kabochan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Kawagdan, Cari, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredinil, Cayetano Allen Peter Compañero, Cayetano Maria Laarni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalao, Ko Angelica, Ko Elizalde, Kuwangko, Colyantes, Crisologo, Kua, Quaresma, Cueva, Pulyamat, Nagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, Del Mar, De Los Santos, De Loso Montalia, Demaporo Abdullah, Demaporo Muhammad Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, D. Faustino Ino, D. Faustino Michael III, D. Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Rice, Ergel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Farinas Ria, Farinas Rudy Caesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Per Juliet, Per Luis, Flores, Pong Juan, Fortun, Fortuno, Frasco, Puentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo John, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasitaya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Go Ed, Go Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Carlo, Goroseta, Kiko, Gullas, Guya, Aresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Halushos, Javier, Jimenez, Ko Elisa, Ko Wilton, Kong Hun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lazatin, Liachon, Legarda, Lim, Lim Kaichong, Lopez, Loyola, Lusotan, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Magundadato, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Momo, Natividad Naganyo, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malanaon, Waminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ortega, Juano Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Roelio, Padjernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Ramos, Remulla, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Ferdinand, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Sanchez, Sangcopan, Santos Recto, Sarmento, Saulug, Savellano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Singson Mihan, Sinsuat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, si Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tambunting, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Shamir, Tan Shari, Tan Tambut, Tejada, Teves Arnulfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Tutor, T, Umali Alfonso, Umali Maria Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villafuerte, Villanueva Brother Eddie, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Yolago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikurat, Zarate, Zubiri. Mr. Speaker, the roll call shows that 236 members responded to the call.
With 236 members present, the chair declares a quorum. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend the session.
session suspended. Ha?
May privilege ako.
Abe.
Ada tiket water dito?
Joint resolution. Anong House Bill yan? House Joint Resolution.
May papa-college na may
Tapos yung gagawin dito. Scan. Ah, guess lang. Guess lang. Session resumed.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider on third reading House Joint Resolution Number 22, and that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the measure and thereafter call the roll for nominal voting.
Is there an objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. The Secretary General is directed to read House Joint Resolution Number 22.
House Joint Resolution Number 22. Joint Resolution authorizing the use of the rice subsidy as provided in the General Appropriations Act for the purchase of palay from local farmers, mandating for the purpose the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Department of Interior and Local Government, Department of National Defense, Department of Transportation, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, in coordination with the Department of Agriculture and the National Food Authority, to directly purchase palay from local farmers and distribute rice subsidy allowance in the form of actual rice instead of cash. Roll call of members in consideration of House Joint Resolution number 22. Abante, Apaya, Pellanosa, Abueg Zaldivar, Abunda, Acop, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Jong, Advincula, Cabas, Acarao, Aglipay, Hinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Senaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong, Andaya, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Banyas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barzaga, Baskug, Bautista, Bautista Bendigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biason, Billones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Rosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Kabuchan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Kanama, Kawagdan, Cari, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredinil, Cayetano Alan Peter Compañero, Cayetano Mariela Arni, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Chungalao, Co Angelica, Co Elizalde, Coanco, Collantes, Crisologo, Cua, Cuaresma, Cueva, Pulyamat, Nagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, Del Mar, De Los Santos, De Los Montalia, Demoporo Abdullah, Demoporo Muhammad Khalid, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, D. Faustino Ino, D. Faustino Michael III, D. Ian Paul, Ebcas, Ecleo, Ilago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Farinas Ria, Farinas Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Frere Juliet, Frere Luis, Flores, Fong Juan, Fortun, Fortuno, Frasco, Fuentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo Jan, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasetaya, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Go Ed, Go Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Carlo, Guruseta, Gico, Gulyas, Guya, Haresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Alushos, Javier, Jimenez, Ko Elisa, Ko Wilton, Kong Hun, Labad Labad, Lacson, Lacson Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lazatin, Liachon, Legarda, Lim, Lim Kaichong, Lopez, Loyola, Losotan, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Magundadato, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Momo, Natividad Nagaño, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Juan Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez Malanyaon, Huaminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ortega, Uwano Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Padjernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Ramos, Rimulya, Revilla, Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Ferdinand, Romualdez Yedamarie, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakarudan, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Sanchez, Sancopan, Santos Recto, Sarmento, Saulug, Savillano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Singson Mihan, Sinsuat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, C. Alvarado, Taduran, Talyado, Tambunting, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Shamir, Tan Shari, Tan Tambut, Tejada, Teves Arnulfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Tutor, T. Umali Alfonso, Umali Maria Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Val Mayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villa, Villafuerte, Villanueva Brother Eddie, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villaraza Suarez, Villarica, Yolago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikorat, Zarate, Zubiri.
With 206 affirmative votes, 0 negative, 0 abstention, House Joint Resolution number 22 is hereby approved on third reading. Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we would like to acknowledge the guests of Congresswoman Claudine Diana Bautista, namely the First Lady of Davao de Oro, Ms. Sholay S. Lim, Ms. Mirna Calolo, Mayor Lema Bolo, Marylibeth Colina, Ms. Terry Tagalog, John Marie S. Balbin, Jermila Tizon, Ellen May Cunanan Famoso, Krish May Calamba, Betty Caballero, Elsa Cantral, Lunita Hayestin, Honorable Euphemia Chayektin, Juvie Havonitalia, Charissa Fulgerinas, Ruchil Christy Gonzaga, Junamel Nunez, Virencita Elmido, Marilyn Libuangan, Delia Lagumbay, Martiniana Osorio, Herminia Pusta, Mary Grace Owani, Honorable Vivencia Secuya, Rita Lopez, SPO4 Rizali Matunhay, LD Chris Calzatora, TSG Jean Canotice, Maria Aida Fernandez, Ana Rose Lomigo, Zenith Maceda, Jana May Masaling, Agnes Stadle, Hernan Cortez, Kiven Arth Hubahib, Honorable Marie Jude Fuentes Lopos, Honorable Nena Atamoso, and Honorable Christine May Caballero Ranyon. Mr. Speaker.
May the guest of Congresswoman Claudine Diana Bautista stand to be recognized. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, may we acknowledge the guest of Representative Rufus Rodriguez, 2nd District, Cagayan de Oro City. Please welcome Barangay Kagawad Joshua Frias, former Barangay Chairman of Barangay 23, Cagayan de Oro City.
May the guest of Honorable Congressman Rufus Rodriguez stand to be recognized. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we also recognize and welcome the guests of Honorable John Reynald M. Tiangco. These are students from Kapitbayahan Elementary School and Dagat-Dagatan Elementary School.
May the guest of Honorable John Ray Tiangco stand to be recognized. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with leave of the House, I move that we hold the privilege honor.
Is there any objection? The Chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the first member who wishes to avail of the privilege hour is Representative Mark Go of the Lone District of Baguio City. I move that the gentleman be recognized.
Is there any objection? The Chair is none. The motion is approved. Representative Mark Go is hereby recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand on a matter of personal and collective privilege to bring forward the state of higher education in the country. To my esteemed colleagues at the House of Representatives and our guests who are present here today, I wish you all a good and productive afternoon. Today, I stand before you in this hallowed hall as the chair of the Committee on Higher and Technical Education. It is my belief that education is the greatest equalizer that affords our citizens the leverage to escape the throes of poverty and achieve success and accomplishment in their lifetime, regardless of their economic circumstance. I've always been an advocate for quality education that is accessible to all. A degree in one's hands does not only equate to introducing new members in the recruitment pool or as mere human capital. A strong learning foundation that prizes ingenuity and critical thinking is crucial to stronger nation building, as it is from our youth's ranks that this nation's future leaders, innovators, and change makers will rise. Thus, it is of great significance that the Higher and Technical Education Committee is able to perform its role in strengthening the core and system of higher learning in the country as we ally ourselves with the nation's stakeholders. That said, in the months since I and the members of the committee had adopted and fulfilled their roles, our eyes have been opened to the nuances and complexities of the dire state of higher education in the Philippines. As we submit ourselves to the day-to-day affairs of creating and forwarding solutions to the systemic inadequacies of our educational system in the country. Since I was elected committee chair in August of this year, alongside the usual grind of reading and deliberating on bills and legislative documents, we have had the opportunity to engage in constant dialogues and conversations with the Commission on Higher Education and other stakeholders in order to create a true and accurate picture of the current state of education in the Philippines. It cannot be left unsaid that the active and consistent participation of CHED, headed by Chairman Prospero de Vera, has been invaluable in providing the committee the much-needed context in order to reach the concerns of our stakeholders and the SUCs across the nation on the grassroots level. As chairman, I believe it is my responsibility to share with you these findings on the pertinent subject matter of education, which we would contend as an opportunity that must be afforded by all regardless of background or circumstance. In order to gather a clear and accurate picture of the current condition of higher learning in the country, it is also logical that we begin with its roots and history. Prior to the creation of the committee or the Commission on Higher Education in 1994, our basic education system and higher education system were all overseen and supervised by a singular agency. In 1982, former President Ferdinand Marcos signed Batas Pambansa 232, also known as the Education Act of 1982. The law governed both formal and non-formal education systems in public and private schools in all levels of instruction throughout the country. Batas Pambansa 232 led to the creation of the Ministry of Education, Culture, and Sports as a singular agency that supervised all educational levels, from primary to tertiary. This would later become the Department of Education, Culture, and Sports by virtue of Executive Order Number 117, assigned by former President Corazon Aquino. The department single-handedly administered the affairs on basic and tertiary education, as well as non-formal learning, sports, and cultural undertakings. The trifocalization of the education system led to the reorganization of DEX as the agency renamed to the Department of Education and resulted in the creation of TESDA, which was tasked to oversee the country's vocational and technical education programs, and the Commission on Higher Education, which was mandated under the passage and implementation of Republic Act 7722, or the Higher Education Act of 1994 under then President Fidel B. Ramos. The Commission was created as a breakaway agency from the DEX in order to authorize a single body to manage and govern the country's higher education system with the coverage of public and private higher education institutions, as well as degree-granting programs in all public and private post-secondary educational institutions. This is the system that the country follows to this day. It has been 25 years since our education system underwent a massive organizational overhaul and has practically remained unchanged since. Yet, therein lies the rub. In over 2 decades since the creation of the Commission on Higher Education, the current framework, powers, and functions have remained stagnant in spite of the ever-changing social and economic conditions in the country. According to figures presented to the committee by the Commission on Higher Education, 88% of higher education institutions belong to the private sector, while public state universities and colleges and LUCs, or the local universities and colleges, were at a measly 6% each. The Commission on Higher Education also recorded 1,963 public and private higher educational institutions catering to 108 million Filipinos. This translates to about one institution serving 55,000 Filipinos. Among those 1,963 campuses, 111 of those are SUCs, while local universities and colleges are at 118. As the figures demonstrate, the number of higher education institutions serving our youth is not the issue. Despite several colleges and universities populating our regions and provinces, the fact of the matter is that the quality of institutional learning that is being taught is uneven across the board. Only 3 universities from the Philippines made it annually in higher education rankings around the world, with the University of the Philippines as the best performing institution in the country, ranking 72nd in the QS Asia ranking. To this day, most still prefer to enroll in the National Capital Region and in other major urban centers in the hope to achieve a better quality education. As a further result of an even distribution of resources in other regions in the country, this keeps education concentrated and insulated within Metro Manila and other metropolitan areas. Aside from the issue of oversaturation, this also poses problems for other degree offerings that are left disregarded, as students are likely to join and stay within industries that are available near their university of choice, rather than being encouraged to pursue degrees in different parts of the country that offer programs more attuned to the community's needs. Moreover, these higher educational institutions employ a total of 136,186 faculty members to handle the institution's basic functions, which include teaching, research, and community extension services. However, according to CHED policy, these institutions may only employ faculty members who possess a master's degree as a minimum qualification. With that in mind, it is alarming to discover that only 37.59% of those employed have obtained a master's degree, and that most of these employed faculty members are in fact bachelor's degree holders at 45.83%. The figure is even more dismal for doctorate degree holders, who only constitute 16.58% of the population. It is clear as day that the number of qualified faculty members employed in our higher learning institutions across the nation is insufficient in order to provide a standard level of quality of instruction that is crucial in molding the minds of our youth. Also noting is that 55.87% of the first-time licensure examination takers passed the exams, while only 37.87% of graduates across all disciplines passed the licensure examination. That means that more than half of our graduates are unable to practice their professions. That is wasted potential and human capital which needs to be addressed. In 2017, we have had 479 college graduates who, despite finishing a degree, were unemployed. College unemployment alone was 7.1%, higher than the national unemployment rate. That statistics is truly worrying. We have long taught our youth, as what our elders have taught us, that education is the ticket to a better life. Thus, a degree is necessary in achieving success and stability. With the statistics, this is staggering. This essential life lesson amounts to nothing but empty words. With constantly inflating tuition fees in private higher institutions, it is unacceptable that there is a mismatch between jobs and the degree programs in these institutions, with positions that are vacant yet are hard to find. Despite the strides achieved by other universities in the Times Higher Education ranking, the country exhibits a lackluster performance when it comes to the field of STEM, that is science, technology, and math, and research, with the research environment left much to be desired. Across 6 major countries in ASEAN, the Philippines has the lowest proportion of its researchers coming from the higher education sector at 36.41%, in contrast with Malaysia of 81.56%, Indonesia at 54.47%, Vietnam at 49.18%, and Thailand at 53%. Malaysia, in 1917, Malaysia published 29,606 index publications compared to just 202,891 from the Philippines. These are but the multitude of issues surrounding our higher education system, and we have only begun to scratch the surface. These concerns signal that it's high time we revisit the current framework and policies that are accorded to the governing body of higher learning in the country that is suited to our current economic needs and conditions. Firstly, it is crucial to revamp the top-heavy structure that pervades the Commission. To this day, only the Secretary and Undersecretary are seated as board chairs, while one ASEC is in charge of regional operations and central office concerns for the entire higher education system in the country. We have over 2,000 higher education systems nationwide, with over 40,000 programs only to be overseen by 1,000 employees. This limited reach and thinly spread manpower calls for a significant reorganization in the Commission's structure. It is crucial that CHED is able to add more permanent positions and satellite offices to be able to oversee and deliver the demands of new programs and advocacies. It is also essential that CHED is enabled to enforce stricter compliance among our universities and colleges to compel their faculty members to pursue and finish their graduate degrees while performing their main functions as teachers in the academe. To do so, CHED must be granted the power and the wealth of resources in order to provide faculty members across the country the necessary assistance to complete their master's degree alongside performing their duties in their respective institutions. With more professors and faculty members distributed among various schools in the country who possess the necessary qualifications, only then can we expect the quality of instruction to rise. The addition of proficient and qualified educators in our institutions will certainly lead to the advancement of education, resulting in skilled and critically thinking graduates, as well as an increase in the competence and readiness of board examination takers. Moreover, it is recommended that CHED undertakes a rigorous review of their program offerings in consultation with the Department of Labor and Employment, as well as private firms. Industries change and rapidly evolve with the times, especially in the face of globalization and technological advancement and the so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution. And this revisit of curricula will surely ascertain that our education system remains globally competitive. Our scant output in index publications and journals does not mean our researchers are incompetent. That is, in fact, far from the truth. With the cost it entails to pursue research, unless it is being funded 4 by private institutions, our faculty members have to compete with limited grants in order to pursue research. Another incentive for faculty to do research is to include faculty members from our SUCs in the scientific career system to enable those who are engaged in research to be given rewards commensurate to their outputs. Moreover, it is long overdue that we prioritize research and strengthen its integration with CHED's current framework, as it is research that results in innovation. It is crucial that CHED is empowered to enable a number of innovation hubs as well as motivate collaborations between industries and the academe for collaborations in order to increase number of patents for invention and utility models. With STEM so ingrained in our higher education system, can we begin to anticipate progress and development by way of research-oriented solutions. CHED also recommends that the Commission must be granted the necessary resources to increase the number of scholarships for STEM fields in order to produce more top-notch scientists and researchers. The ones that I have mentioned compose of an overwhelming list of statistics that not only point to the myriad of issues and concerns that surrounded the state of higher education in the country, from job mismatches and unemployment to the uneven and inadequate performance of our institutions, beginning with the number of licensure examination passers and the sore lack of qualified faculty who hold graduate degrees. While there are various solutions and recommendations to each individual problem as elaborated, a major root behind these systemic failures is the gross lack of budget being allocated to the nation's education. The number of enrollees in 2018 dropped to 3.2 million compared to 4.1 million students enrolled in 2015. Students are faced with a difficult choice to drop out or refuse from pursuing a degree altogether simply because they could no longer afford it. Even as they opt for public universities or colleges, the continuous dwindling national budget forces them to compete for even more limited resources that only become scarcer by the minute. The problem is already pervasive in Manila and Metro Manila and the urban cities. How much more in the far-flung pockets of the country where there are further barriers to education. That is not to say that we have not achieved small victories in the 17th Congress. We have passed Republic Act 10931, also known as the Universal Access to Quality Education, of which I'm also a proponent and one of the principal authors. This law was hailed as a landmark act for providing free tuition in all state universities and colleges in the country, as well as technical vocational institutions. No youth who is poor will ever have the reason to skip school again. The enactment of a law is one concern. Another is its implementation. As an ally of our governing body on higher and technical education and its stakeholders, it is crucial that we focus on the implementing rules and regulations of the law in order to ensure that the law is working for its constituents as intended. In another move that seeks to harden the blow, CHED is set to suffer from a massive 11 billion peso budget cut from what was earlier provided in the 2019 General Appropriations Act. The enormous slash in the 2020 budget comes in spite of the monumental overhaul that is needed to introduce reforms in the current system, from increasing scholarships, grants to deserving students, to additional funding in SUCs in order to train more faculty to eventually reach 100% qualification. A study by CHED also shows that the Philippines invested 3.4% of its gross domestic product in education. Although it is a welcome step towards progress compared to the country's statistically dismal 2.5% in 2007, we are still lagging behind in general. In comparison to our ASEAN neighbors, Vietnam spent 5.7% of its GDP in education, Malaysia 4.8%, Brunei at 4.4%, Thailand at 4.1%, and Indonesia at 3.6%. When it comes to total government expenditure, the Philippines ranks number 10 or number 9 out of 10 countries in the ASEAN with 13.21%, only above Brunei, whose education budget comprised 9.99% of their expenditure. From this minuscule amount, majority of the Philippines' expenditure on education is always allotted to basic education. Unfortunately, it does not take another statistical figure to imagine what is left of that education budget to be distributed to the several hundreds of SUCs and LUCs across the country. Given the significant findings as presented by CHED as chairman of the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, I speak on the behalf of the committee to reiterate our commitment as allies in providing quality higher education to our constituents. It is essential that we fulfill our roles in Congress in order to empower CHED and equip them with the necessary resources so that they may carry out the necessary advancements to further this cause. As chairman, I also urge our honorable colleagues here to restore the original budget as proposed in the 2019 General Appropriations Act. It is also our oversight function to oversee and ensure the effective implementation of Republic Act 10931 or the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education. Despite the web of setbacks and problems that currently surround the system, my belief in education as the best tool for success has never wavered. I believe that with the right reforms and changes to the current system, we can truly begin to see positive and lasting impact. Thus, I have taken on the endeavor to author a bill that seeks to amend the provisions of Republic Act 7722 or the Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997, including the addition of powers to the Commission on Higher Education to strengthen its research and innovation arm and augment the institution's structure, personnel complement, and corresponding budget to enforce the necessary implementation of its programs and functions and ensure a truly modern and relevant education that is acceptable, accessible, and afforded by all. Education is truly man's greatest investment, and it's up to us in order to uphold and safeguard the interests of our Filipino youth for greater nation building and for the opportunity to elevate one's circumstances in life. Again, thank you very much at magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from Buhay Party List, the Honorable Congressman Lito Atienza, for his interpellation.
Honorable Lito Atienza is hereby recognized.
With the kind indulgence of the gentleman, whom I both admire and respect in his genuine concern for a better deal for the Filipinos. Now that he's talking about education, I'd like to pose some questions to pick his mind on some basic issues.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, the gentleman mentioned about the time when the higher education and the Department of Education itself concerned with the development not only of educational prowess and knowledge, but that of sports and culture orientation, to start exercising their qualities as a strong nation, strong people, champions in the different fields of sports. We dominated the sports field of Asia at one time and in the rest of the world. And in cultural orientation, we can be proud of our culture. As Filipinos, alam natin, mayaman ang ating bansa sa kultura. And the gentleman mentioned that at one time we had a Department of Education, Culture, and Sports.
Yes, sir.
Ano po ba nangyari doon at tila nawala yung Culture and Sports, naging Department of Education na lang? Kung pag-uusapan natin ang deterioration, and I agree with you, 100%, the quality of higher education in the nation has changed drastically from the past to the present, for the worse. Ano po ba ang inyong posisyon doon sa nangyaring nawala ang kultura at paligsahan sa palakasan sa ating mga paaralan?
Well, totoo po yung binanggit po ninyo that at that time, before they changed to Department of Education, Culture and Sports. Then after that, it was again changed to the current setup where the three departments are divided now into three. But if I may state my position, I would agree that we should never I would say we should not have removed the culture and sports, particularly in the basic education.
Salamat po sa inyong tugon at ididiin lang po natin ng konti na ang pag-aaral ay hindi po kumpleto yung pagsasanay ng katawan. Mens sana, corpus sana. A strong body and a strong mind. A strong mind is a strong body. Pag ang mga mag-aaral natin ay walang pagsasanay sa kanilang kalusugan at kalakasan, ay kulang po yung edukasyon nila. At ito ay nagbubunga ng mga pagkatalo natin sa lahat ng paligsahan. Noong unang panahon, ang Pilipino po ay itinatanghal na kampiyon sa lahat ng uri ng palaro. We were competing with the World Basketball competitions. We were champions in tennis, in bowling, in track and field, in swimming, name it, and the Filipinos were champions. And up to this time, we can say that we are still champions in the person of Manny Pacquiao, the only boxer in the whole world in the history of boxing who have garnered 8 division championships, 8 from 115 to 147 pounds. Wala po nakakagawang ganyan tao sa balat ng lupa. Pilipino lang po may hawak niya. Manny Pacquiao.
Yes.
At nasabi ko na, at one point in time, we were applauded by the whole world in our prowess, sports prowess. Pero ngayon, nagsasanay na tayong dumapa at mangulelat. Dumarating na po yung SEA Games. At one time, champion tayo ng champion dyan. Palagay ko, mahirap nang gawin natin yan sapagkat wala po tayong material na dinedevelop sa ating mga paaralan. Do you agree that the removal of cultural and sports activities in school, especially in higher education institutions, are affecting development?
Hindi po ako pumapayag na gano'n. Kung pwede nating i-revisit yan at isama natin ang kultura at ang sports po dito sa departamento, either sa basic education or both basic and the higher education.
So we are soliciting the support of the gentleman. Together, let us champion the restoration of culture and sports as one way of upgrading the quality of our higher education in the country.
Kung kayo po ay magpa-file ng bill bukas, sisiguraduhin ko po sa inyo na tatalakayin natin kagad sa committee natin at gagawin po natin ang ating makakaya para sa batas po ito ulit.
For the information of the gentleman, Mr. Speaker, the bill has been filed, so therefore it's a matter of the chairman of the committee to take a look at it and schedule it for discussion in the committee and for submission to the body. The sooner we do this, the better for our youth. And we thank you for your understanding and genuine concern for the welfare of our developing huge sector of our country, ang kabataan. Maraming salamat. Congratulations for your call to improve the conditions in our higher education today. Congratulations. I'm with you 100%.
Salamat po. Thank you po.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Majority Leader, and colleagues who are still actively participating tonight.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the next member who wishes to interpolate Representative Go is Representative Sara Elago of Kabataan Party List. I move that she be recognized.
Representative Sara Ilago is hereby recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Magandang hapon po sa ating puno ng Committee on Higher and Technical Education. Ang representanteng ito ng kabataan ay nagbibigay ng aming pakikiisa sa ating committee chairperson sa kanyang panawagan ng restorasyon ng kinakailangan ng pondo ng kagawaran ng mas mataas na edukasyon upang kanilang magampanan ng buong buo ang kanilang mandato para sa pagbibigay ng kalidad at abot kaya, accessible na edukasyon para sa ating mga kabataan at scholar ng bayan. Nais ko lang din po na maibahagi sa ating committee chairperson na during po sa budget deliberations natin dito sa loob ng Kongreso, isa rin sa mga nanindigan na dapat ding maibalik yung mga naging kaltas pondo sa state universities and colleges natin. Dahil sa ngayon po, sa ating 112 na SUCs, may siyam dyan na zero ang pondo para sa kanilang capital outlay. Nasa 40 plus po ang may kaltas pondo sa kabuang budget para sa kanilang capital outlay. Meron naman na siyam na po na may kaltas pondo para sa kanilang personal services. Gayon din po sa kanilang maintenance and other operating expenses. Sa tingin po ng representante na ito ng mga kabataan, malaki po ang epekto ng mga budget cut na ito doon sa pagpapatupad ng libreng pampublikong edukasyon sa ating state universities and colleges. Bakit? Ang kasalukuyan pong proseso ngayon ng pagpapatupad ng RA 10931, yung dating kinokolekta po mula sa mga estudyante na tuition and other school fees, ngayon po tayo na ang nagbibigay ng pondo. Ngunit kung meron namang mga kaltas pondo sa mga SUCs natin, marami po sa mga administration ng mga SUCs, naghahanap na sila ngayon ng mga pamamaraan. Kung paano ba mapupunan yung mga kakulangan na kinakaharap nila ngayon sa kanilang mga pondo. Ngayon, Mr. Speaker, nais ko pong marinig ang pananaw o mga plano ng ating committee chairperson, ng ating kagalang-galang na kinatawan mula sa Baguio City, hinggil sa pagre-review ng kasalukuyang implementing rules and regulations ng RA 10931. Sa ngayon po, hindi pa po yan dumadaan sa masusing pag-aaral natin na marami po dito ang siya ring mga nagpasa ng landmark law ng Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education. Mr. Speaker,
Ang una pong ginawa natin dyan, nung pong nagkaroon tayo ng budget deliberation dito, kung inyo pong maalala, the following day we were asked to submit our amendments to the 2020 budget. At tayo po ay nag-submit ng amendment para isama yung dalawang importanteng programa ng ating bansa, yung pong free tertiary education at saka yung student financial program. These two programs require 11 billion budget. And this budget was actually included in the submitted budget of the CHED to the DBM. But when the so-called NEP was submitted to Congress, hindi po napasama ito. At nung deliberation natin sa komite, pinahayag na po natin na kailangan ibalik ito. But unfortunately, it was not included as an amendment to the 2020 budget that we forwarded to the Senate. So tayo po ay naghahabol ngayon sa Senado para masama po ito. Para masigurado natin na hindi lamang yung paggawa ng batas ang dapat nating gawin dito, kundi yung implementation. At ang implementation nito ay hindi mangyayari kung walang budget. Kasi ang binanggit po, kaya medyo mababa ang budget ng CHED dahil yung pong schedule natin, ang fiscal year ng bansa natin is January to December. Pero yung mga state universities and colleges, kagaya rin ng mga pribadong universidad, ang kanilang first semester, August hanggang December. At yung second semester nila, nagsisimula lang January. So nagkakaroon ng problema sa schedule. So ito siguro kailangan maisama natin sa probisyon ng ating budget para hindi tayo magkakaroon ng problema na mababa yung absorptive capacity ng ating ng CHED at ng mga state universities and colleges. So ito yung pinaka-importanting dapat nating gawin para masiguro natin na maponduan ito on a regular basis. Hindi pwedeng binigay natin noong 2018-19 pagkatapos nitong 19-20 hindi natin maibigay. Ito po'y napaka-importante nito. At gusto pa rin natin tutukan dito, hindi lamang bigyan ng ganitong budget, pati na yung ating mga faculty, no? Pinakita ko nga dito, ilang porsyento lang ang merong master's degree pag ikaw ay nagturo sa higher education institution. Ito requirement kailangan. Kasi tayo rin ay naniniwala na the higher your educational attainment, you can really contribute more. Although hindi naman 100% yan. But in general, the higher your educational attainment, you can contribute. No? At ito yung requirement. No? And that is one of the major items that we would like to work on this committee. And of course, yung isa rin dito, yung mga pondo. Nabanggit mo nga na yung ating mga state universities and colleges, halos zero yung kanilang capital outlay budget. No? Maliban lang sa mga iilan, no? Tayo rin ay nagsumite ng ganitong additional amendment pero hindi tayo, kaya ang gagawin natin ngayon, babalikan natin yung mga state universities and colleges at tingnan natin talaga ano ba yung prioridad nila para mabigyan ng atensyon. At yun ang tatrabahuin natin.
Mr. Speaker, nagagalak po akong maibalita sa ating CHTE Chair na kasalukuyan pong may lobbying efforts pa rin. Ang mga kabataan, mga student councils, kasama po ang kanilang mga faculty union at university officials para nga tugunan itong mga gaps pa sa funding na kinakailangan nila para mapatupad ng nasasaayos ang ating batas. At gayon din, hindi lang po natin papalawakin ang access, kundi patataasin din yung kalidad ng education offering sa ating mga SOCs. Hindi pa po huli ang lahat. Tayo din ay haharap pa, uupo pa ang ating mga kasamahan sa BICAM at dapat gawing prioridad ang ating higher education. Bukod po doon sa panawagan na tutulan yung budget cuts, ma-review yung IRR ng RA 10931, kinakailangan din po, Mr. Speaker, na bigyan ng pansin ng CHTE bilang nakaupo rin sa mga Board of Regents ng ating mga SOCs ang patuloy po ng pangongolekta ng iba't ibang mga bayarin. Sa kabila po na ang nakalagay na provision sa ating batas sa ilalim ng Free Public Higher Education Provision, may exemption ang mga qualified students na magbayad ng tuition at other school fees. Meron pa rin po silang mga binabayaran. Kaya po marami nagtatanong, hindi ba ito ay hindi po tunay na libre kung meron pa rin po tayong mga binabayaran. So kung ano-ano lang po itong mga fees na ito, kailangan po natin mapag-aralan kung saan pa kinokolekta sa mga universities. Halimbawa, meron po tayong SOC na nakitang nangongolekta ng garbage disposal fee na 100 pesos per semester. So kailangan din po nating mapag-aralan saan ba yung kinokolekta at magtanong din, hindi ba kasama na yan dun sa supposedly maintenance and other operating expenses ng ating mga SOCs? At sa katunayan po, expressly ang pinapagbawal na po ang koleksyon ng tuition and other school fees doon sa mga qualified na mga Filipino students sa ating mga SOCs. Higit po dyan, tayo rin po ay nais magpahayag ng ating buong suporta sa ating chairperson ng Committee on Higher and Technical Education na maging kasangga po ng komite pagdating sa loob ng mga SOCs natin sa pagpapatupad ng quality education, gayon din, Mr. Speaker, sa pag-o-offer ng accessible university services. Kasama po dyan ang healthcare, ang food service, at ang housing sa lahat po ng stakeholders sa mga SUKs, hindi lang mga estudyante, kundi faculty at mga non-teaching personnel. Kasama na rin po ang mga university officials dahil yan po ay kanila ng pangalawang tahanan at kinakailangan na ang pagtingin po natin hindi lang yung improvement sa loob ng classroom, kundi po sa buong campus ng ating state universities and colleges. Bilang panghuli, nais ko rin pong maipahayag sa ating CHTE chairperson, kami rin po ay nananawagan sana ng isang joint hearing kasama ang ating Committee on Labor and Employment dahil po may mga SUK students tayo, maski mga faculty po nagtatanong, ano pang pakinabang ng pagkakaroon ng isang malaking SUC? Napakarami nating mga graduates, pero marami po sa kanilang mga graduates, hirap na hirap po na maghanap ng trabaho dun sa kanilang mismong mga probinsya. So, isa po itong malaking hamon, hindi lang sa committee, kundi sa buong kapulungan na ito. Maraming salamat po sa ating committee chairperson. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Speaker.
Maraming salamat. I think tama yung binanggit mo, Congresswoman Elago. Particularly yung problema na natin, yung job mismatch. Marami tayong graduates, halos kalahati, hindi nakakapaghanap ng trabaho, samantalang napakadaming trabaho. And the main reason for this is there is a mismatch of the skills acquired and the requirements of the industries. So ito'y dapat nating bigyan ng pansin at gumawa tayo ng paraan para ma-address natin dito in partnership with other stakeholders. So again, maraming salamat sa suporta and I think we will have no other way except to move forward in this particular effort natin. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Perhaps the committee can commission a study on this, on job mismatch, and also work with DOLE with regard to ensuring that our SUKs, our universities and colleges are responsive not only to the demands of the labor market, and our higher education is not developed only for mere employability, but also for fulfilling and supporting for the young people to really fulfill their role in nation building. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the gentleman from the 2nd District of Cebu City, Representative Rodrigo Abellanosa, be recognized for his chance to interpolate the gentleman from Baguio City.
The gentleman from 2nd District Cebu, Rodrigo Abellanosa, is hereby recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Chair of the Committee on Higher Education, our distinguished representative from Baguio City. If I may be allowed to ask just a couple of questions.
It's going to be an honor, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. But before doing so, Mr. Speaker, I would like to laud our colleague in raising the issue on the higher education of our country, especially with respect to the slashing of the budget. And what I would like to allude to in your privileged speech is when you highlighted the drop in the enrollment from 2015 to 2018 in higher education enrollment in our country. And I consider it as a very pronounced decrease in the enrollment that should cause some worry to our Commission on Higher Education. Much more on the fact that in the past few years we have adopted the additional 2 years in the senior high school. Could this be one, if not the main reason for this drop in the enrollment? Could it be that the parents who have, in the past, before the advent of the senior high school, have been laboring to send their children to college and universities to sustain the 4 years or 5 years of their higher education, and now with the senior high school, the additional 2 years after this additional 2 years, could there be, or could this be a reason why many of these parents are no longer sending some of their children or some of these parents are no longer sending their children beyond the senior high school or after the senior high school to pursue higher education. You also highlighted the fact that it is very important for our country to continue our efforts along research. I agree, honorable member, colleague. I agree to that because there was a time, we remember in the past, when research on basic sciences is beyond our reach because of the challenging facilities and equipment that are needed. But nowadays, these are already within the reach of our higher education students, postgraduate students. But we now are in the imminent danger of losing our bright students because they are no longer sent to our higher education institutions. My question, and I wish that the committee will address this with CHED, to study the impact of the senior high school, the impact, the effect of the senior high school on the enrollment in the higher education, and what interventions we should do in order that before we no longer have the bright students in our universities and colleges, we no longer have the human resources to pursue research and innovation in our universities, we should act now, and I agree with you that our government should support these efforts to sustain higher education in our country, especially in research and innovation.
Yes, I agree with you. There are multiple reasons why we have a drop in the enrollment in the college level from 2005 to 2015 to 2018. And one of them is the implementation of the K-12 program. And the second one is related to economics. Because of income, this is one of the findings that we have why people did not pursue college education, or there is a drop in the enrollment from 2015 to 2018. And the effort that we did here in Congress of passing the law of giving free tertiary education is an effort to address this actually. Plus, of course, as you mentioned in your second question or in second point, research is really very important. It is a necessary thing that we should really have in our different higher educational institutions. This is one way of improving teaching in the classroom. And at the same time, this is an approach that we can take in probably helping the economy of developing innovations and improvements in the way we run the different organizations and businesses in the country. And this will be, many countries became successful because of research and innovations that they have in their respective countries. As I mentioned earlier, the researchers, not even how many percent of the other countries' researchers conducted, not even 20%, the Philippines. Compared to the other countries. So truly, I think this is one of the items that we will focus this committee for this 18th Congress.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Chair of the Committee on Higher Education, would you also agree that CHED right now is really not that empowered vis-a-vis its responsibility towards what you have enunciated in your privileged speech?
Yes, I agree.
Because, for example, Honorable member, our friend from Baguio City, in Region 7, where my representation in Cebu City is, the Commission on Higher Education only has a regional office. Good, it's located in the city of Cebu. But there is no provincial offices of the CHED in any of these except for its location in the regional office. Yes. And I think this situation has been replicated all over the country. So I believe that there is indeed a need for the empowerment of the Commission. If only we would like to give flesh to what we believe that higher education should be the source of innovations and our tool to produce the brains for research in the various technologies and applications of sciences.
Yes, this is not only true in Cebu. It's actually true in almost all regions in the country. And I support, just like what I stated, Mr. Speaker, in my privilege speech, we need to provide them the necessary budget, manpower, and infrastructure so that they can perform their function. You can just imagine they got only how many? More than 1,000 people and catering to how many thousands or millions of students, as well as both state universities and colleges and private universities and colleges in the whole country. That should be, it's really unfair to them for letting them perform a lot of functions and responsibilities, and yet we don't support them in terms of resources and budget, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Your Honor. This representation will be with you in our endeavors to support the empowerment of the higher education in our country. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Congressman Villanosa. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, the last member who wishes to interpolate the gentleman from Baguio City is our distinguished minority leader, the gentleman from the 6th District of Manila. I move that we recognize Representative Bienvenido Abante Jr.
Representative Minority Leader Bienvenido Abante is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Would the gentleman from Baguio yield to some clarificatory questions, Madam Speaker?
Yes, Minority Floor Leader. It will be an honor to answer your questions. Thank you.
Your privilege speech is so interesting, Madam Speaker, and I just can't help but to stand up and try to be able to ask some questions that would, I believe, is crucial to the future of college education. You made mention in your speech that it is quite crucial to revamp the top-heavy structure. May I ask, Madam Speaker, when you refer to top-heavy structure, what do you mean by that?
We have commissioners running the CHED, and these commissioners are responsible for all the 111 state universities and colleges. And they got one undersecretary in charge of the different regional offices, as well as the different private universities in the whole country. So we have a situation where they are all there on top, and they don't have people in the different regions. So what we would like to do is strengthen the regional offices and give them more power as well as resources, not only on the higher level but also on the lower level.
Madam Speaker, many of these commissioners are political appointees, as we know. Do you believe that these commissioners have expertise as far as the work of the universities and colleges are concerned?
Well, almost all officials of government are political appointees. However, we assume that all those appointed are qualified people to run the respective organizations. The same is true with the case of the Commission on Higher Education. While they may be appointed by the President, they have a fixed term and they perform a function that is defined by law. And therefore, in that sense, while they may be political appointees, they are people who I believe have the capabilities to run the commission. What is needed would be the support in terms of budget, other resources, for them to carry their functions. Just like here in Congress, we give them a lot of responsibilities. If we pass a bill, we always call them, and at the end of the day, we ask them to take a responsibility. But there is no additional budget. We gave them the implementation of the free tertiary education, but there is no corresponding increase in budget. And they're dealing with additional responsibility of implementing, these provisions of the free tertiary education in the country.
Do the commissioners, Madam Speaker, from the chairman to the commissioners, do they have fixed term or?
Yes, they have a fixed term.
So the fixed term would be around what, 6 years, right?
6 years, yes.
But they can be replaced anytime. No.
I assume if they have a fixed term, they cannot be removed.
All right. Now, there are times in which a political appointee, for example, we do not even study the credentials of the people appointed to the office. No? Do you believe that in an agency like this, where education is so important, that all of the top officials, even if they are political appointees and they have a fixed term, that we should look at their credentials, if they are really able to do and perform the tasks given to them?
Yes, they should be evaluated even before the appointing authority decides who is going to be member or members of the commission. Just like the president of any, the different government organizations that we have in the country, I presume that the appointing authority reviews all their credentials, and the best is chosen from among those nominated.
All right, Madam Speaker, for sure, I know that the chairman of the CHED usually would have been a former president of the university or a former president of the college. So I might assume that each and every top official of the CHED should also have worked intensively on the education aspect of the agency.
Well, the current chairman of the commission was a former vice president of the University of the Philippines. He was also a professor. And if you look at his qualifications, I think I have no doubt that he's qualified to become the chair of the Commission on Higher Education.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker, for the information. I don't even know who the chairman is and his credentials. Now, I am very interested in the word revamp. So when you say revamp, you're not referring to the top officials, but you're referring particularly to the regional offices and others.
We will do review also the top organization, because what happens here is all the commissioners are given, I think, about 10 or so SUCs that they chair. So this is one item that we have to look at also, whether it's an appropriate or probably an effective way of ensuring the delivery of service in these different state universities and colleges.
How many regional offices do the CHED have presently, right now?
I don't have the exact number, Mr. Speaker, but we can get almost, I think all of the regions are occupied by, occupied by CHED.
Usually, Madam Speaker, when we speak of an agency that is actually a commission composed of commissioners, they are more of a policy-making body than an implementing agency, Mr. Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, so what I'm referring here is this, that the Commission on Higher Education is not only a policy-making body, but they are there mandated to implement, to monitor, to supervise, to perhaps, in a way, control the supervision of all state universities and colleges. Madam Speaker.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the CHED is not only monitoring, does not only have the monitoring responsibility, it's a regulatory body also. So it performs this function to ensure that, the quality of education provided by these different state universities and colleges, as well as private universities are carried out in these different universities.
Would you therefore agree, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, to a suggestion perhaps that the Commission on Higher Education should now become a regular department in the government to oversee, not just a policy-making body or a regulatory body, but a regular department to oversee and perhaps, in a way, take control of all colleges and universities, whether public or private, so that, as you have said, we would like to see a revamp. We would like to see an effective structure in which we can have a better education here. So perhaps there ought to be some drastic and meaningful changes as far as the agency is concerned, Madam Speaker.
Well, that's one of the items that we are considering, Mr. Interpolator, our minority leader. That's one item that we are considering as far as the Commission on Higher Education is concerned. So that there will be more focused on the work, and at the same time the appropriate divisions or even institutions within will be organized to address this primary objective of improving the quality of education in the country.
Yeah, Madam Speaker, as you have shown in your speech, as you have shown the statistics of other nations, Madam Speaker, the Philippines is actually in the lowest rank, and therefore, in the ASEAN region,
9 out of 10.
in the ASEAN region, we belong to the lower rank as far as the educational structure is concerned, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
And it is sad to realize that, even dismal to even think about it, Madam Speaker, Your Honor. Now, what I'm saying is, have we ever studied the agency in those countries like Malaysia, like Vietnam, governing all of their universities and colleges?
I have not made any study on those countries, of the different governing boards of the different countries' educational system. But I think it's a good, strategy to understand the different countries' governing boards of their different state universities,
Yes.
so that we can learn from them and see what can apply in our country.
And Madam Speaker, Your Honor, right now in Asia, Singapore is #1.
Yes.
Perhaps we could be able to learn from the Singaporean model. Of course, Singapore is a very small country compared to ours, and Singapore is only compared to Manila. That even Metro Manila is more populated than Singapore itself. But nevertheless, if you're going to study the educational structure of Singapore, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, being #1 today, as one of the best nations as far as education is concerned, perhaps we could be able to learn from the Singaporean model as far as the structure of the higher education is concerned. Would you think so?
Yes,
Madam Speaker?
I think it's a good move if we can, work with probably with the Department or the Ministry of Education of Singapore, so that we can understand their overall situation and how they, of course, as you said, it's a small country, but they are tapping in the whole of the ASEAN region. So I think it's really good to, understand and find out what they got there, what they have there, and if needed, probably we can adopt some of their practices in Singapore.
I would therefore suggest, Madam Speaker, that in one of your extensive committee hearings, that perhaps your committee would be able to communicate with Singaporean embassy and the Malaysian embassy to invite resource speakers to speak on their educational structure and educational models, Madam Speaker.
We'll take note of the suggestion, and I think we'll be pleased to invite them to come over and talk about what they have as far as the educational system, as well as the structure of their higher educational institution in Singapore.
Meron pang isang issue, Madam Speaker, is yung K-12, no? Na ngayon, pag-uusapan dito sa House. Do you believe that the senior high school is a big help? Because what they were saying is the only way why the senior high school was implemented in our country are two things. Number one, that we could be able to equal ourselves with the rest of the world. Number two, that it is easier for students who are graduates of the senior high school 11 and 12 would be able to find a better job, no? Which is the reason why we will be talking about that, because it is not actually true that the senior high school could be able to find a job after graduating from senior high school.
Well, Mr. Speaker, as you know, Madam Speaker, as you know, there are two tracks or several tracks. We have the university track for those who will pursue college education, and those who will take the so-called BOC track. The assumption under this K-12 program is after you finish the Tech BOC track, you can go and work already. That is the assumption. But during the 17th Congress, I delivered also a privileged speech evaluating the two-year performance of the K-12 program. And it shows there that most companies where these students will apply, the tech-book graduates, are not accepted by many companies in the Philippines because the training in the tech-book that they had during the last so many years did not prepare them to assume work in the different industries in the country. They still prefer college graduates. Probably number one, because we still have a high supply of college graduates, plus the fact that those who graduate under the tech book program do not have the qualifications. Considering the fact that the so-called tech book track provides only 90 hours of OJT work in the various companies in the country. Kulang. So that is one of the problems that we need to address in the tech book track and the overall K-12 program of the government.
Because I think, Madam Speaker, we're trying to follow the American model in which in reality, most Americans do not even go to college anymore. Why? Because whenever they graduate from high school, no, taking the K-12 curriculum, no, they are able to find jobs, but not in the Philippines. Not in the Philippines. So therefore, would you think on the other aspect in which the K-12 is preparing our high school students to college, is that effective? Would the K-12 effective as far as going through college and graduating and everything like this? Is it more effective? Or we go back to the usual 6-4 in our lower education bracket?
Well, I think the advantage only of one of the advantages, if you may, you delay these people to be part of the labor force because you have extended, the time that they are in school, these students, no. But we have to see results first. As I've stated earlier, Madam Speaker, based on the report that we studied, there are problems that we encountered during the last 2 years of the implementation of the K-12. The end result that we want is that those who have completed the tech book track should immediately be, should be accepted by the different industries in the country. But this is not the case. So I think now those who will graduate under this K-12 program and who will finish their college education, we still have how many years more? 2 years or 1 year more before we can see whether they have better opportunities to work after completing the K-12 program under the university track.
Perhaps, Madam Speaker, the K-12 program should be directly on pursuing higher education, and let the textbook or vocational aspect of the K-12 program be reverted to the TESDA. Because, do you know why? Because the batting average of TESDA as far as TESDA graduates getting a job is concerned is better. In reality, no? And TESDA is only giving a crash course for about what? 3 months. Matagal na yung 3 months. Matagal na yung 6 months. Pero, nakakakuha ka ng trabaho yung TESDA graduate. Samantalang itong K-12, 2 taon pa, yung dapat nilang matapos, hindi nakakakuha ng trabaho, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
Yes, as I said, the training under the tech book track is only for 90 hours. And the people in the different public schools probably are not prepared to do the actual training of these people. If they, let's say, decide to take, an auto mechanic in the senior high, they don't have those programs in the different public high schools in the whole country. But if they go to a test the institution, they can specifically choose. In this particular case, what they do under the tech book track and the other tracks, they go and assign only in different companies for an equivalent of 90 hours for the whole year. So what can you learn out of that?
Yeah, Madam Speaker, I would like to commend the Chairman of the Committee on Higher Education for raising this issue on a privileged speech. And I believe that this should be pursued, Madam Speaker. I believe that our Chairman should pursue this in such a way in which there will be meaningful changes as far as giving better education for our college students. So I really appreciate the privileged speech, Madam Speaker, of the Chairman of the Committee on Higher Education. And may I say this, si Congressman ko po, kamag-anak ko po ito. Go, abante, magpinsan po tayo. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much.
Marami pong salamat, Madam Speaker and Minority Leader Abante. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that the speech of the Honorable Mark Go Oblong, District of Baguio City, be referred to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action. So move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I also move that we refer the interpolation of the speech of the Honorable Mark Go to the Committee on Rules for appropriate action.
Okay, is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, may we acknowledge the guests of the Honorable Angelica Natasha Co of the HW Party List and Deputy Speaker D.V. Sabellano of 1st District of Ilocos Norte, the Barangay Health Workers and the Regional Presidents, headed by Zenny Pulido, Mirna Gaite, Divina Pacoy, Lilia Ogis, Elena Hilario, Thelma Alano, Elizabeth Abarquez, Leia Dublon, Melita Guines, Crescencia Abukay, Julia De Vera, Joel Pasion, Helen Tesoro, Rani Caballero, Merly Nebres, Tony Ragili, Aida Navales, Nora Llaneta, Nympha Tianes, Mirna Rayala, Juliet De Jesus, Maria Caga Hastian, Eva Hilario, Jamil Mora, and Mark Cabalhin.
The guests of Honorable Angelica Co and D.S. Sabellano are please stand up. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I now move that we recognize the gentle lady from BHW Party List, Representative Angelica Co, for her privileged speech. So move, Madam Speaker.
Representative Angelica Co is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Speaker, I rise on a personal and collective privilege on the plight of our barangay health workers in the context of promoting primary health care as an essential component of universal health care. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, we have all been witness very recently on the alarming upsurge of emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases, which has reached epidemic stage, such as dengue, tuberculosis, measles, HIV, cholera, typhoid, and leptospirosis. On top of these, the Philippines is also embattled with widespread diseases, such as heart, kidney, lung, or respiratory diseases, cancer, and diabetes, among others, which according to the Department of Health are the leading causes of morbidity in the Philippines. These diseases are among the most dangerous killers known to man that are not visible to the mortal eyes. They are known to man centuries ago, yet these continue to lurk in our midst, especially in a third world country like the Philippines, where a great number of its people live in abject poverty and filthy environment, under the bridges, esteros, and slums, as well as high health risk occupations such as prostitution and street peddling, where mostly women and children suffer. On the one hand, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the good news is that we have now a Universal Health Care Act, which was passed by Congress and signed by the President Rodrigo Duterte in February 2019, with the end in view that all Filipinos are guaranteed equitable access to quality and affordable healthcare goods and services, and protected against financial risk. Without any doubt, I believe we have a good law with which the Department of Health is very eager to implement. On the other hand, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, inasmuch as government would like to fully implement the Universal Health Care Act, it would take time to fully realize its noble purpose as we are confronted with funding and capability issues. In fact, for 2020, the DOH said that only 28 provinces and 5 cities, a total of 33 areas, were chosen for the rollout of the Universal Healthcare Law. In the meantime, or in the process of progressively realizing our people's right to health, the cost of healthcare and wellness is taking a heavy toll on the life of every Filipino. Since the number of deaths attributed to infectious diseases and major causes of morbidity that is prevalent throughout the Philippine archipelago, a great majority of our people are trapped in the vicious cycle of poverty. Access to health services and medicines is hardly within reach of our fellow men. The Philippine Statistics Authority reported that 53.9% of the Filipino households spent the highest health expenditure or out-of-pocket payments in 2018. Of this, 50.1% went to pharmacies. Sa halip na ibili ng pagkain, ang kita po ng karamihan sa ating mga kababayan ay napupunta sa gamot at pagpapaospital. Ang karamihan naman ay hindi na lamang nagpapagamot o bumibili ng tamang gamot. Kaya nga ang wika ng ating mga kababayan, bawal magkasakit. Ito po ay hindi haka-haka. The Philippine Wellness Index, a study initiated by PhilCare, was released in June 2019 and publicized in major newspapers, found out that 40% of the respondents from various parts of the country expressed uncertainty on their capability of paying medical bills. 30% were not sure if they can afford the cost of regular medical checkups. And 37% had to use their savings, while 25% sought the help of their relatives to pay their medical bills. The same study shows that 63.35 Filipinos who have sick family members within the household have ever used the Philippine Health Insurance. This, despite PhilHealth's claim that 97 million Filipinos, or 93% of the entire population, are already covered by PhilHealth in 2017. As one respected newspaper puts it, Mr. Speaker, the study has just confirmed what we already know is true. Many Filipinos cannot afford to pay their hospital bills. Another study by a foreign consultancy, the Mercer Marsh Benefits 2019 Medical Trends Around the World, reported that the Philippines is the second most expensive country in terms of medical expenses in Southeast Asia. Medical inflation in the Philippines is expected to increase to 13.7% in 2019. From the 13% in 2018. And medical costs, the report stated, are bound to continue increasing and will even outpace inflation by close to 3 times this year and even higher in 2020. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, it is a fact that prevailing healthcare and services in the Philippines is lamentable. Even in the absence of statistics, we hear and see this sad reality every day. We don't even have to go out to the Batasan complex. Here in the House of Representatives, we see people who patiently line up and knock door to door in every congressman's room, pleading, if not begging, for health assistance. Most of the cases, I believe, kidney diseases, which are so expensive that even employees with good pay cannot afford. As I have mentioned earlier, we are hopeful that the universal healthcare law would pave the way to health and social justice. But to realize this noble objective, there is one requisite that has to be fulfilled. That is primary health care. As the World Health Organization representative in the Philippines puts it, we know that primary health care is the fairest and most affordable path to universal health coverage. Primary health care means multiple sectors working together to bring care closer to home, with the involvement of the community. The UHC Act is just the beginning of our journey to health for all Filipinos. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the Philippines indeed has somehow come a long way in primary health care in keeping the World Health Organization's declaration of Alma Ata, but which remains to be done. In principle, primary health care is the foundation of every healthcare system, the first contact and ongoing link between people and their health providers. Primary health care delivers a broad spectrum of preventive, promotive, curative, and palliative care across the life course. It is how our people at the barangay level connect with the healthcare system throughout their lives, for practically everything, from health education and information campaigns to treatment of illness and management of chronic conditions. When primary health care works, people are able to get the care they need to stay healthy. The vast majority of a community's health needs at the barangay level can be met by a well-functioning primary care system. It is lamentable, however, that the development resources tend to be consecrated on specific diseases and issues. While this approach can generate significant progress on health care and services, it leaves the underlying health system starved for support. The result is a primary care system that is dangerously fragile and fragmented. The importance of primary health care is indisputable, and I would not want to belabor this point further. The reason why I am mentioning primary health care is to emphasize a very urgent concern, one that we always cross upon with, yet taken for granted by many for several decades now. I am referring to our barangay health workers, or BHWs. Our BHWs need no introduction. We know them well, by name, by face, and the general nature of their work. Many speeches have been delivered in their name. Nevertheless, I stand before you now in this august chamber to add my voice in their struggle to be recognized. Not to beg or beseech your support for their personal gain or benefit, or to seek praise for their heroic deeds, but to convey to this august body the urgency of promoting primary health care from the perspective of barangay health workers if we are to achieve the noble purpose of the universal health care law that is before us now. I would just like to stress, Mr. Speaker, that providing benefits, incentives, and security to our barangay health workers should be premised and anchored on strengthening primary health care as an essential and integral component of universal health care. I am stressing this point as in the past, there's always a tendency to shy away from the cost of upgrading the benefits and incentives of our BHWs. Unless we recognize this, we cannot expect our BHWs who languish in poverty and poor health to take the lead in building a healthy and progressive nation. Alam niyo po, sa aking pag-iikot, sa iba't ibang lungsod, bayan at probinsya, nasaksihan ko po kung gaano kadalisay ang puso at damdamin ng ating mga BHW. Sa aking pag-iikot, tinatanong ko lagi kung ano ang mga kailangan nila. At madalas na sagot ng karamihan sa akin ay stethoscope o pang-BP, pangkuha ng blood pressure, thermometer at first aid kit. Ito ang mabilis nilang tugon lagi sa aking simpleng tanong. Nakakaantig ng damdamin sapagkat mas una pa nilang naiisip ang makapaglingkod sa kanilang mga kababayan o mga kabarangay kaysa sarili nilang pangangailangan. At kung papipiliin mo sila, kung payong, makeup kit, o stethoscope at pang-BP, ang pipiliin nila ay ang huli. And for what price? What personal benefit do they derive from it? Nothing really, because they even spend their honoraria they receive for their hapless fellow men. Believe it or not, there are some BHWs who receive as low as 150 pesos as honoraria. Saan po aabot ang 150 pesos? O sabihin pa nating 1 at 2,000 sa iisang lugar. Our BHWs practically do everything that is necessary for the benefit of the barangay folks. Umulan, bumagyo, o sa katirikan ng init ng araw, walang piling oras, araw o gabi, sa kasuluk-sulukan man ng barangay. Hindi nila alintana ang panganib at pagod. Marami sa kanila ang BHW na mula pa noong 1980s, mula sa pagkadalaga, pagkabinata, hanggang sa magkaasawa na at magkapamilya. At hanggang pagtanda, niyakap na nila ang buhay BHW, hanggang sa libing. Minsan, tinatanong ko po ang isang veteranang BHW, "Nay, sapat ba ang inyong honoraria?" Ang sagot po niya sa akin, "Ay salamat naman po kung may dagdag pa sana." So bakit po sila nagsasakripisyo? Malasakit. Malasakit sa kapwa at sa bayan. Ito ang nag-udyok sa kanilang maging isang BHW at ito rin ang kanilang pinanghahawakan sa patuloy nilang paglilingkod. Mr. Speaker, marapat lamang natapatan natin ng kapulungang ito sa partikular ang malasakit na ipinamamalas ng ating mga BHW. Ganun pa man, may biyaya man o wala, nakasisiguro ako na ang ating BHW ay patuloy na maninilbihan ng buong malasakit sa abot ng kanilang makakaya. Gusto ko pong bigyan diin sa pagkakataong ito na bagamat ang tawag natin sa kanila ay volunteers, hindi tama na abusuhin natin ang katagang ito sukdulang humantong pa sa pagsasamantala kung hindi man pang bubusabos. Marami po sa ating BHW ang nagiging accredited lamang pagkalipas ng at least 3 taon. At paglipas ng ilang taon, kung sila ay accredited na, saka pa lamang bibigyan ng karampatang honoraria. Dapat lamang na baguhin na natin ang kalakarang ito. Ito ay hindi patas at hindi makatao, bagay na nakakubli sa ngalan ng volunteerismo. I believe it is high time that we take a closer look into the essence of the volunteer status of our BHWs. It is high time that we treat our BHWs with utmost respect in real terms, sans political rhetoric, by providing them with concrete support and ammunition in battling perennial health woes that continue to besiege and has relegated our people into economic and social quagmire. That our BHWs serve as volunteers is not a license to neglect, discriminate, and even abuse. For several decades now, our BHWs have relentlessly struggled and served our people unselfishly. Our BHWs are heroes, and honor we must give to them no less. Mr. Speaker, President Rodrigo Duterte, in his first SONA in the 18th Congress, called for the passage of a Magna Carta for the Barangay. In response to his call, I submit that the welfare of our BHWs, as well as other barangay volunteers and officials, should be a major component or provision. Otherwise, without which, the law would just be another rhetoric. I respectfully entreat your support, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, to prioritize and fast-track vital pieces of legislations. I am hopeful and I trust that this would merit our collective attention and concrete support for our BHWs. We cannot dichotomize primary health care from universal health care, in which the welfare of our BHWs is essential as well. We cannot expect our BHWs to be effective in their duties while they languish in poverty or poor health. We ought to give our BHWs the dignity that they deserve. What we must provide them is not an act of charity or mercy on our part. Congress is duty-bound to fulfill its obligation to ensure health for all and social justice. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. May I also request for the viewing of a brief video featuring the lives of our BHWs. Mr. Speaker, may I request for the viewing of a brief video featuring the lives of our BHWs?
Madam Speaker, may we extend the length of privilege hour for another, I move that we extend the privilege hour for another 30 minutes. So move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Can we have the video now?
Kahit marami ang hirap na pinagdadaanan, napakasarap po sa pakiramdam na makita mo sila na gumagaling.
Primary health care na i-deliver po namin sa aming mga lugar.
Lalo na po sa pagtimbang kang mga aki, dit miyan na pigsusurusog mi po iyan.
Marami po ang obligasyon sa barangay.
Ang ibang namin, napapabayaan na namin ang aming mga pamilya dahil lang sa aming mga trabaho.
Maski matanga ang banggi, pagkaipuang kami, yaon po ako.
Kahit may mga kalamidad, kailangan nandyan po kami.
Kung lalo na kung may mga naghihelang, nakaipuan daron sa barangay, sa ospital, maapod kang ambulance, kung may mga maaki, yaon po kami.
Nandito po kami lagi ang nangunguna.
Wala po kaming pinipiling oras, warang pinipiling lugar kung saan.
About po doon sa Republic Act 1783, nandun po nakasaad ang lahat-lahat na benefits and incentives ng mga barangay health workers. Ang pinakatalagang mahirap sa amin, hindi kami talaga napapansin ng national government para bigyan man lang kami ng medyo mataas-taas na honoraria.
Kung may mga nakukuha kami sa organisasyon, siyempre nakulaon man natabang ito para sa pamilya namin.
So ngayon, napakasaya namin dahil meron na kaming party list na masasandigan na sila po ang tutulong sa amin para lahat na benepisyo na kailangan na ma-receive namin, sila po ang boses namin sa Kongreso. So yun pa ang inaasahan namin, na hindi matapos ang taon na ito, na hindi makamtan o makamit ng mga BHW kung ano man po ang benepisyo na para sa kanila o para sa amin.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the 2nd District of Cagayan de Oro City, the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez, for his interpolation. So move, Madam Speaker.
Representative Rufus Rodriguez is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is not an interpellation because I am in full support of the first to congratulate the Honorable Angelica Natasha Co of the BHW party list. And we have here with us the leadership of the BSW all over the country. And we have the president and we have the regional directors of the BHW organization. So this is to manifest my strong support to our barangay health workers all over the country. And this afternoon, with the chairman of the Committee on Local Governments, 29 bills in support of the barangay health workers have been filed and are now consolidated to be able to come out with a new Magna Carta for barangay health workers that will make sure, number one, that they will have security of tenure, that they cannot be replaced by incoming new barangay captains, and be able, therefore, to serve more because they have really been trained by the Department of Health, number one. Number two, that they should be given higher, not anymore honoraria, but salaries because they are in the forefront of giving services to our people in the barangays and sitios. Third, that they should be given retirement benefits and they should be members of the GSIS so that they will have their own medical assistance and retirement benefits from the government insurance system. And also, that is why this representation filed 2 bills on the health workers. Number one, House Bill number 3801, an act mandating the Department of Health to provide at least one health worker in every barangay, increasing their salaries and benefits. These nationally hired barangay health workers will be in complement with those appointed by the local governments, which are the cities, municipalities, and the barangays. So that under the study of the Department of Health, they are saying that there should be one barangay health worker for every 1% of the population of the barangay. 1%. And therefore, Madam Speaker, at this point, we have only 208,000 barangay health workers. And under the formula of the Department of Health of 1%, we should have 1,080,000 health workers because our population is 108 million. And so therefore, we have to get that desired number of health workers. And that is why we should make sure that we are able to recruit them, train them, and give them all the benefits of a regular employee of our government, both the national level and the local governments. My second bill, Madam Speaker, is the bill, House Bill number 4575, an act providing security of tenure for barangay health workers, amending for this
Madam
purpose
Speaker.
Section 6D.
Madam Speaker,
Yes,
with,
Majority Leader.
with respect to the Honorable Rodriguez,
Yes, we do not
just
have
a
to-
short point of order. Members, to quote Rule 16, Section 122, on the privilege hour, members shall not avail of the privilege hour to speak on concerns that are principally and directly related to the subject matter of measures already pending in any committee or in plenary session. So,
Well taken, Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, precisely, I am not discussing the merits of the bill. This is in manifestation. I know that rule very well. They are pending, but we are just giving a manifestation in support of the barangay health workers. And that is why we only mention the titles of the bill. So let me just finish, Madam Speaker, by stating that my House bill in support of the barangay health workers is to provide security of tenure for barangay health workers, amending for the purpose Republic Act 7883. And therefore, we therefore end by stating that we urge all our colleagues who know how our barangay workers work to be able to support this consolidated bill that will come out from the 29 bills that we have. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Our next interpolator, Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman, our Minority Leader from the 6th District of Manila, the Honorable Benny Abante, for his interpolation. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Representative Benny Abante, our Minority Leader, is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Unang-una po, I am very proud to congratulate a member of the minority bloc, Madam Speaker, for her real concern for the barangay health workers. And I would like to assure her that this representation, with the full support of the minority bloc, Madam Speaker, we will be tackling this problem in Congress, as Congressman Rufus Rodriguez already made mention of some bills, Madam Speaker. Palagay ko po, talagang dapat na pag-ukulan po ng talagang pansin itong ating barangay health workers. Ako'y nagpapasalamat na meron po tayo ritong kongresista na siyang nag-represent sa mga barangay health workers, Madam Speaker, na nire-raise po niya ang napakalaking problemang ito. Kaya't maraming salamat. Kami ay full support sa iyo, Madam Speaker. Unang-una ay Madam Speaker, ito po bang ating representante ng BHW would be willing to answer some clarificatory questions?
Y- yes, po, Mr.
Angelica to.
Speaker.
Okay, thank you. Binanggit po niya rito yung primary health care na ang sabi niya an essential component of the universal health care. Salamat po. Ito po yung nabanggit niya. Binanggit din po niya rito yung mga infectious diseases which has reached epidemic stage. Dengue, tuberculosis, measles, dagdag mo na rin yung polio sapagkat pinag-uusapan na po ang polio ngayon. At nagpapasalamat din po tayo na naging batas na po Universal Healthcare Act, Republic Act 11223. Ang kalungkutan ko lamang po ay ito, sapagkat tayo rin po ay nag-file ng resolution to investigate PhilHealth dahilan po sa alleged massive corruption. At pag malaki po ang korupsyon sa isang ahensya ng gobyerno, ang nasasaktan po dito ay ang mga mahihirap. Nais po natin ang universal healthcare talaga ay maging mahalagang component na upang bigyan ng solusyon ang healthcare programs ng gobyerno, lalo pat ito ay makakatulong po sa ating mga mahihirap na mga kababayan na nangangailangan po ng access to health services and medicines. Sa Maynila po ay marami rin na mga barangay health workers. At alam ko, bilang volunteers, nakakatanggap po sila ng honorarian na around 600 pesos a month. Yan po yung sa Maynila. Ako'y nagpapasalamat sa aming mayor, Mayor Isko Moreno, na tinaasan na ang honorarium ng mga health workers sa Maynila. At sa sinabi po ng ating kagalang-galang representative ng BHW na mga health workers po ay nagtatrabaho kahit na kaunti lang ang binibigay sa kanila. Bakit po? Sapagkat meron silang malasakit at meron po silang pag-ibig sa ating mga kababayan. Ang tanong ko po dito ay unang-una, pag pinag-uusapan po ang primary health care, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, ano po ba talaga ang igagamot, ang dapat na gamutin sa primary health care?
Thank you very much for the question, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker, Your Honor, ang primary health care po na binabanggit dito, yan po ang talagang trabaho ng isang BHW. Sila ang nagmo-monitor. Sabi nga nila, from womb to tomb. So ibig sabihin po niyan, mula kapanganakan ng isang tao hanggang ito'y mamatay, ang talagang nagmo-monitor po nito ay ang barangay health worker. So ang primary health care po, papasok dito dahil magkakaroon sila ng way para effectively nila na mabigay ang kanilang mga serbisyo. Kung magkakaroon sila ng mga BP apparatus, magkakaroon sila ng kanilang ng enough ammunition to do their battle right. And then they can win the fight through the primary health care po. So, sinasabi po dito sa aking speech na kailangan na at napapanahon na po na bigyan sila ng karampatang ammunition para sa primary healthcare because primary healthcare cannot be effective without giving them ammunition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. One of the most important projects I have in my district is medical mission. At iniimbitahan po namin ang mga barangay health workers para sila po ay mag-volunteer din naman sa medical mission na ito. Na nabanggit po ng ating galang-galang na representante ng BHW na totoo po yun na madalas na nais nila at kailangan po nila na kanilang hinihiling ay stethoscope, ang kuha ng blood pressure, thermometer, pati po yung nebulizer. O napakarami na po ng mga nebulizers na akin na ibigay po sa ating mga kababayan, Madam Speaker. Ngayon ko lang po nalaman na meron palang BHW na nakakatanggap for as low as 150 pesos bilang honoraria. Palagay ko po talaga napakalaki ng insulto ito sa mga nagbubuluntir po na BHW. So ang tanong ko po dito ay, kung halimbawa magkakaroon po tayo ng batas, tulad po ng sinabi, na tungkol po sa mga BHW na kinakailangan po magkaroon ng security of tenure, magkaroon ng mga benepisyo, magkaroon po ng GSIS, meron po ba kayong iniisip na dapat na isweldo sa kanila? O doon po sa batas na maaaring magawa natin? For example, kung meron tayong mga batas, magsisimula tayo na sila'y isama na sa ating tinatawag na plantilla position ng ating pamahalaan. Hindi lang po volunteer, kundi sila ay regular na empleyado na.
Bagamat po hindi nila hinihiling na maging regular na empleyado, okay lang po sa kanila na volunteer status, pero po kung dadagdagan ang honoraria, mas maganda po. So para sa Committee of Local Government, pag-uusapan po kung ilan ang sapat na honorarium para sa mga barangay health workers. Of course, we have to invite po our departments so that we can have a proper amount to be given to the BHWs, so that we can set a proper amount for them.
So, Madam Speaker, would you rather that instead of them being put into a regular employment in the government, that they can remain as volunteer workers and they will just receive an honoraria? Is that what you're saying?
Yes po, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so palagay po nyo, how much po ba ang magandang allowance para po sa isang BHW na kung saan siya mabubuhay ng disente at magagawa po niya na mas maganda pang paggawa yung kanyang pagiging volunteer na barangay health worker?
Para po sa inyong representative, at least 3,000 pesos po per month, pero may karampatang benefits and incentives po na maibibigay para sa kanila upang hindi na nila kailangan problemahin pa ang kanilang mga health benefits, ang kanilang hazard allowance, or even their transportation allowance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Alam niyo po, Madam Speaker, of course, sinasabi po ng DOH na 97% na ang miyembro ng PhilHealth. Ano po? Dapat po ba sa inyong palagay that repasuhin pa rin ng Kongreso ang PhilHealth program na dapat itaas ang benepisyo na ibinibigay ng PhilHealth sa ating mamamayan, particularly sa ating mga mahihirap na kababayan?
Para po sa inyong representante, dapat po talaga pagtuunan ng pansin ang pagbibigay pa ng mas maraming benefits po para sa mga walang benefits, katulad po ng mga barangay health workers na nagpo-provide ng healthcare service, ngunit sila po mismo ang walang health benefits.
Therefore, would you support, Madam Speaker, would you support the suggestion that we ought to review the PhilHealth program, and that in a very important move, that we ought to increase the benefits of members of the PhilHealth program?
I am in support po of...
Okay, palagay ko po, pinag-uusapan po yung honorariums ng ating mga BHW. That would be in a case-to-case basis. It will depend on the place wherein they in, no? Sa probinsya, o Metro Manila, o sa ibang termino. Well, gusto ko po lamang sabihin that I fully support your thrust, I fully support your advocacy, Madam Speaker, and you rest assured that your minority leader will be behind every step of the way para po masiguro natin that the barangay health workers will have the benefits and the perks according to them bilang mga modern heroes po ng ating lipunan na naglilingkod po sa mga may sakit. Salamat po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize our Senior Deputy Minority Leader, the Honorable Janet Garin from the 1st District of Iloilo for her interpolation. So move, Madam Speaker.
Senior Minority Leader, Representative Janet Garin is now recognized.
Thank you. Maraming salamat po, Madam Speaker. First and foremost, allow me to congratulate our colleague in the minority for a well-delivered speech, not only speaking in behalf of the group which he represents, but moreover, speaking in behalf of the Filipino people. Sa ating pong kagalang-galang na representante ni Kako, ang dami pong naibanggit tungkol sa universal healthcare. Would you agree with me in saying that the barangay health workers is a very important tool when we talk about the accomplishment of the goals of universal healthcare?
Very much agree, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
Nasabi po ng ating kagalang-galang na minority leader kanina po lamang na tila hindi niya masiguro kung malamang aktibo ba o in effect ba o nahihirapan yung ating barangay health workers sa pag-avail ng kanilang PhilHealth benefits. Can you enlighten us? Sila po ba may libreng membership? At yung libreng membership ba, does it translate to utilization? Kasi baka naman miyembro sa papel, pero pinapahirapan sila sa tuwing sila o ang kanilang miyembro ng pamilya nagkakasakit.
Actually, Your Honor, Madam Speaker, ang ating pong mga barangay health workers, hindi lahat sa kanila ang merong membership sa PhilHealth. Ang iba po sa kanila nabibigyan through their local government units. Ang iba sa kanila through provincial government. Pero madalas po, marami sa kanila actually ang hindi po nakakatanggap ng membership sa PhilHealth. At hindi ko po, yung iba po sa kanila kasi sinasabi na member sila sa PhilHealth, ngunit hindi rin po na-utilize ang membership sa PhilHealth.
Meron po ba kayo kagalang-galang na kasamahan, Madam Speaker, naririnig o na-encounter na mga reklamo na sa panahon ng isang BHW member or kanilang kapamilya nagkasakit, pagdating sa hospital, pinapahirapan pa sa pag-avail ng PhilHealth?
Ayan po, narinig niyo na rin po siguro ang sagot ng ating mga barangay health workers. Meron pong problema talaga sa PhilHealth and sa pagkuha nila ng medical assistance sa kanilang mga kanya-kanyang hospitals.
Madam Speaker, ang rason po na ang katanungan na ito ay natanong ko dahil napansin ko po na karamihan sa kanila simply because they are busy at minsan nagmamadali na umuwi dahil maraming aasikasuhin sa mga barangay at kailangan nilang ilabas sa ospital ang kanilang kapamilya, tila, syempre pag pinapahirapan ka, the usual recourse, magbabayad na lang sila. Kaya kung mamarapatin po ng ating kagalang-galang na representante ng BHW Party List, isama na po natin doon sa pagtingin at sa hearing kung meron po ba mga sitwasyon na ang kanilang availment ng PhilHealth, setting aside pa yung dapat na mandatory membership sa PhilHealth, yung kanilang availment napapahirapan. Because universal healthcare provision does not only mean universal healthcare coverage or membership ng PhilHealth. Ang mas pinaka-importante po dito miyembro ka na nga at ginagamit at napapagamit sa iyo yung iyong membership. Will the Honorable, our distinguished colleague, be amenable na masama ito dun sa panukalang batas na kanyang isinasaad?
Ang representante pong ito ay tinatanggap ang suhestyon at ipapasok po ito siguro sa hearing sa committee.
Madam Speaker, nakarinig rin po ako na isa po sa populasyon na nakakagat ng aso o pusa o o minsan naman, hindi naman nakakagat, pero hinahabol ng aso, yung ating mga BHW workers. Narinig niyo po rin ba ang mga kwentong ito?
Madalas po yung naririnig sa mga
Ito po
kwento
ba?
ng BHW.
Ito po ba, Madam Speaker, kwentong kutsero or kwentong katotohanan? Yung totoong nangyayari sa buhay ng ating barangay health workers.
Ito po ay may katotohanan. At hindi lang po, even our presidents po, yung iba sa kanila, talagang nakakagat na ng aso. Pero pagdating po sa kanilang mga barangay clinics, pagdating po sa kanilang hospitals, kung kailan kinakailangan na nila ng medical attention, sila po ay napapabayaan na.
Kapag po sila ay nakakagat ng aso o kung pusa, pinagbabayad po ba sila sa kanilang anti-rabies?
Yes.
Nakakalungkot po. Kasi Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, sa kaalaman po ng lahat, the rabies vaccination program, when I joined the department, ang libre po doon 2 dose at pinapabayaran sa pasyente yung subsequent doses. When I left in 2016, ang alam ko po at sigurado po ako doon, libre po ang 6 to 8 doses of rabies vaccine at ito po ay bayad ng Department of Health, supposedly. Kaya kung mamarapatin po, maganda pong buksan at ungkatin ito, saan po ba napupunta ang bakuna, saan po ba napupunta ang pera, at bakit po pinapabayad pa yung ating mga barangay health workers ng rabies vaccine tuwing sila'y nakakagat ng aso o ng pusa. Madam Speaker, matan ko lang po sa ating kagalang-galang na kasamahan. Yung mga ibang doktor po kasi may clinic hours Pagka sarado na, wala na po yung doktor. Ang mga barangay health workers po natin, may clinic hours po ba sila o sila po 24/7?
Ang trabaho po ng isang barangay health worker walang pinipiling oras. Therefore, 24/7 po. Minsan nga po may kumakatok sa kanilang pintuan, hating gabi, minsan alas 2, alas 3 ng umaga, magpapatulong, pagpapadala pa sa hospital, at sila pa po ang magbabayad ng transportation para dalahin ang mga pasyente sa hospital.
Meron po ba silang tinatawag na holiday or wala?
Wala po. Wala pong holiday ang pagiging isang BHW. Again, dahil 24/7 ang kanilang trabaho, minsan po naka-duty pa, gaya ng isang doktor, more than 24 hours na trabaho sa isang araw. Pero po hindi po sila nagrereklamo kahit na ganyan po ang kanilang plight sa buhay.
Kasalungat ko rin po yung isang memo or administrative order ng Department of Interior and Local Government. Nakasaad po rito na wala pong barangay health workers ang basta-basta na lang na pwedeng tanggalin ng isang local government chief executive or ng barangay kapitan. Sa pagkakaalam po ng ating kagalang-galang na kasamahan, is this being implemented or ito ba ay naging hanggang sa papel na lang po?
Nakakalungkot man pong isipin, pero meron pong mangilang-ilang lugar sa ating bansa na hindi po hindi nagiging tama o ang pagtanggal sa kanila. So, napupolitika po ang ating mga barangay health workers. Minsan po, nasasali sila sa kapag oras na ng eleksyon o botohan sa Pilipinas, minsan sila ay nagagamit ng kanilang mga barangay captains at sila po ay napupolitika. Kaya hindi naiiwasan na pagka natalo ang kanilang sinusuportahan, sila po ay tinatanggal ng walang dahilan. Kahit po sila ay trained for 3 years or even more because they have been in service for more than 30, 40 years, tinatanggal pa rin po sila ng walang dahilan.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, ang ibig niyo po ba sabihin, marami po tayong barangay health workers na nagiging collateral damage sa political war?
Tama po yan, Madam Speaker.
Lastly, Madam Speaker, meron po tayong, kung sa TESDA, ang dami pong trinitrain. High school graduates, trinitrain sila na maging driver, or mag-handle ng spa, or maging hilot, later on, bookkeeping, baking, mechanic, electrician. Napansin ko lang po, tila wala pong training na may direktiba In other words, kumbaga kung sa doktor ay continuous medical education, among the barangay health workers, it will actually be continuous public health education among barangay health providers. Pwede po ba nating isama ito, Madam Speaker, sa iyong panukalang batas that among the courses being provided by TESDA, this should also be included?
Salamat po sa inyong suggestion. Yan po ay, I am amendable and agreeable to that suggestion, Madam Speaker.
Pangalawa po, ang pagkakaintindi ko po, napakalaki ng advocacy fund, ng mga training at mga seminar at mga meeting na ginagawa ng Department of Health. Sa pananaw niyo po ba, a portion of this is being spent to train barangay health workers? Is it enough? Or yung po ba minsan nagagamit lang yung ating mga barangay health workers para i-justify ng iilang opisina sa gobyerno yung gastusin nila sa mga napakaraming seminar at training?
May nakarating po sa akin na kwento kamakailan lamang na ang kanilang budget last year for their trainings is 1 million pesos for one region. Ngunit po, ngayon, ang sinasabi po nila, even the 500,000 pesos, hindi rin po nila nararamdaman. Naibaba po ang budget ng kanilang trainings from 1 million pesos to 500,000, ngunit kulang pa rin po ito.
Nagkaroon rin po ng mga issue, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleague, na nakitaan. At ako po, kaakibat doon, sabi ko, bakit ba nung nakitaan ko na meron parang 1 bilyon na pondo para sa mga barangay health workers or community health workers sa DOH, naubos po ito nang hindi man lang ramdam ng taong bayan. Yan po ang naging rason kung saan ipinaglaban natin na hindi lamang po training, na hindi naman ganun ka-thorough at kalalim, kundi dapat po binibigyan ng mga BP apparatus, thermometer, nebulizers, yung mga pangkuha ng sugar ng pasyente. Ibig po sabihin, pag isinabak natin sa giyera yung ating mga barangay health workers, sana man lang dun sa mga gamit meron sila. Kailan po ang pinakahuli na nakatanggap sila? At kung ito po ba pinagpapatuloy or naging seasonal po ba?
Base po sa mga kwento ng ating mga BHWs, hindi po madalas ang pagbibigay ng BP apparatus. Ang nalalaman po natin, ang pinaka-latest na nagbigay ng BP apparatus for just one municipality is 2-3 years ago already. So ngayon po, yan po ang madalas hinihingi sa atin. Kaya bala ko rin pong kausapin ang departamento upang mabigyan natin ng sapat na ammunition, katulad ng mga stethoscope, pang BP at kung ano-ano pa, para meron silang madadala o meron silang gamit para sa kanilang pagbibigay serbisyo.
Kasi po, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleague, ang napansin ko po nung nga ako nasa kalakaran ng kalusugan, ang kalimitan po na sinasabi ng ating policy determinators, ang sinasabi po nila palagi, yan po ay obligasyon ng local government units. However, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleague, naiintindihan ko po na sa dami ng gastusin ng ating mga pamahalang lokal and even the allowances of our barangay health workers na pilit nating inaangat, syempre hindi na nila magastusan yung mga equipments na ito. Will the honorable representative from BHW party list be one with us in incorporating doon po sa panukalang batas that the Department of Health or any national government agency for that matter will be the mandated organization to provide for the equipments, not only the BP apparatus, but even the basic thermometers, the basic nebulizers, yung pong basic na kagamitan na kailangan ng mga barangay health workers, even on a per barangay basis.
This representation agrees to the suggestion, and I am one with you in pushing for the department to give the necessary
Let me
Medical
move
supplies.
forward for the last proposal, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleague. Ang pagkakaalam ko po ay nagkaroon ng mga girian, agawan dun sa hazard pay. Napakarami po nang nag-take advantage sa hazard pay. In fact, I'm not sure, pero narinig ko po na yung Population Commission, which is an agency under the National Economic Development Authority, ibig po sabihin, wala naman silang direct patient care. Dahil ang karamitan ng kanilang trabaho ay ando doon sa opisina, pero naririlisan ng hazard pay na milyon-milyon. Sa pananaw niyo po ba, sa dami ng mga hazard pay na nadidisallow ng Commission on Audit, hindi po ba ang pinakakailangan na bigyan ng hazard pay ay yung frontliners ng healthcare? And these are the barangay health workers.
Yes po, tama po yan.
So lastly, Madam Chair, let me put forward, if you will be amenable, the inclusion in your proposed measure. Yung una-unang nga po, mandatory PhilHealth membership, including, of course, they have dependents, the provision of a regular training program, possibly a ladderized training program, so that investment made on our BHW can actually be implemented further. And of course, the hazard pay. And lastly, ang dami po nating batas na ginawa. We have the sin taxes, we have the Magna Carta for health workers, we have the amendments to the PhilHealth law. Ang dami pa ngayon, meron pang pinopropose na another tax on sugar drinks. Siguro naman po, it's time for us to rethink. And we will be very supportive on the part of the minority na suportahan ito. It is now time to earmark a specific portion of all health taxes, of taxation for health for the barangay health workers. Because that will once and for all solve the problem na yung palagi pong rason na walang pera, mawala na, at yung namang mga LGUs na nahihirapan, matulungan. In other words, for the sin taxes, kaysa naman na napupunta sa mga training na paulit-ulit, kaysa naman napupunta sa mga research na hindi binibigay sa sambayan ng Pilipino, why not set aside maybe 5 or 10% of these taxes for the utilization of the empowerment, continuous training, hazard pay, and benefits of our barangay health workers? Because they are not political tools. They are healthcare frontliners. Maraming salamat po, Madam Speaker, and congratulations again to the distinguished colleague. Dahil kung wala po siya, yung malaking boses ng ating mga barangay health workers, tila babalik lang sa isang whisper. Salamat po.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Madam
Your
Speaker,
Honor.
Majority Leader.
I move that we extend the privilege hour for another 30 minutes. So move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the 4th District of Quezon City, Honorable Jesus Manuel Suntay, for his manifestation. So move, Madam Speaker.
Representative Suntay is now recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I would just like to congratulate the privileged speaker
Thank you very
and
much.
manifest my support for the House bill that she filed together with 28 other members of Congress. Coming from the local government unit na saksi ho ako sa paghihirap at mga trabaho na ibinibigay, sa serbisyo na ibinibigay ng ating BHW. Ako'y natutuwa that there are numerous bills which have been filed to institutionalize and to incentivize yung ating mga barangay health workers. So, nais ko hong malaman ng ating privileged speaker that ang suporta ng representasyon na ito ay ibinibigay sa mga House bills ukol dito. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the 3rd District of Bukidnon, the Honorable Manuel Zubiri, also for his short manifestation. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Representative Zubiri is now recognized.
Maraming pong salamat, Madam Speaker. When I heard it was you, ma'am, Representative Ko, BHW, I just want to manifest, ma'am, that sa amin po doon sa Mindanao, yung aming BHW, always 24/7, always on the go. Kung piyesta, kung araw, nagbo-volunteer. Kung hindi related sa health, nagbo-volunteer. Livelihood programs, nagvo-volunteer. Tapos on their day-to-day jobs, nandyan sila parate. They're exposed to the elements during disasters, they're volunteering. And then doon sa ating mga, for example, our constituents with diseases, nandun sila po yung frontline. So mahal na mahal po namin yung aming mga BHW. That's why we are here. Kami po sa Mindanao, nagbibigay po kami ng suporta sa iyo, your party list, your advocacy, especially for the BHW. Because I think, they are overworked. And I cannot even say they are underpaid because they are not getting paid. They're only getting very small allowances, if ever. These are all volunteer work. So definitely it's about time na we support them. And even with so much input that they've been giving, so much output with not enough input, but grabe po yung kanilang trabaho. So ma'am, we are here to support, especially we from Mindanao, because we know grabe po yung talagang pagtrabaho po at saka pagbigay po ng serbisyo ng aming mga BHW doon po sa Mindanao. So please be rest assured, if you need people to support you, definitely you can count on us. Marami pong salamat, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Your
Majority
Honor.
Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentle lady from Taguig, the Honorable Lani Cayetano, for her manifestation. So move, Madam Speaker.
Representative Lani Cayetano is now recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Una ho sa lahat, gusto ko lang na i-congratulate ang ating napakabata pero napakahusay na representante ng BHW Party List sa isang napakahalagang speech sa araw na ito. At gusto kong ipahayag ang aking pagsuporta. I'm very proud dahil hindi lang siya bata, hindi lang siya babae, hindi lang siya baguhan, kundi isa pang Bicolana. Yes. So congratulations to you. Sa eksperyensya ko bilang 3-term mayor ng lungsod ng Taguig, ang 9 na taon ko ay ginugol sa malalim na pakikipagtrabaho sa ating mga BHWs. At kitang-kita natin yung kanilang sakripisyo. Merong ratio dapat, di ba, ang populasyon sa ating BHWs. Pero napakalayo pa natin dito. If I'm not mistaken, 1:20 dapat yan. Oo. Pero sa populasyon, halimbawa ng Taguig, 947, almost 1 million na ang mga residente sa lungsod ng Taguig. Sinisikap naming magkaroon ng sapat na bilang, pero sa kasalukuyan meron kaming 959. So ang ratio ngayon, 1:197, 1:90, 1:959, hindi ba? So gusto ko lang na i-assure ang butihing kinatawan ng BHW Party List na makakaasa siya ng suporta para maisulong ang mga insentibo na pwede pa nating maibigay sa kanila. Maraming salamat sa iyo. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Your Honor.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Representative Angelica Co to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action, and the subsequent manifestations and interpolations also the Committee on Rules for appropriate action. So move, Madam Speaker.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to avail of the privilege hour, I move to terminate privilege hour.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we designate the following members to the Bicameral Conference Committee on the Disagreeing Provisions of House Joint Resolution Number 22 and Senate Joint Resolution number 8 authorizing the use of the rice subsidy as provided in the General Appropriations Act for the purchase of palay from local farmers. Representatives Wilfredo Mark Inverga, Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, Luis Raymond Villafuerte Jr., Florencio Noel, Christine Singson Mihan, and Representative Argel Joseph Kabatbat. So move.
Is there an objection? The following are now designated to be members of the Bicameral Conference Committee, namely Representative Wilfredo Mark Inverga, Representative Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, Representative Luis Raymond Villafuerte Jr., Representative Florencio Noel, Representative Christine Singson Mihan, and Representative Argel Joseph Kabatbat. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the change of referral of the following measures. House Bill number 144 from the Committee on Natural Resources to the Committee on Ecology. House Bill number 794 from the Committee on Agriculture and Food to the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries. House Bill number 1424 from the Committee on Agriculture and Food to the Committees on Government Reorganization and Agriculture and Food. And finally, House Bill number 3448 from the Committee on Agriculture and Food to the Committee on Aquaculture and Fisheries and Resources.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. All those measures are now remanded to different committees. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we include additional co-authors to House Bill number 59, 5070, 5306, and 5437, and House Resolution number 306 as contained in the list to be submitted by the Committee on Rules.
Is there an objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the consideration on third reading of House Bill number 4463 and direct the Secretary General to read the title of the said measure. So move.
The Secretary General is directed to read House Bill number 4463.
House Bill number 4463, an act extending for another 25 years the franchise granted to First United Broadcasting Corporation, presently known as Global Satellite Technology Services Incorporated, amending for the purpose Republic Act 8079 as amended, entitled an act granting the First United Broadcasting Corporation a franchise to construct, install, operate, and maintain for commercial purposes radio and television broadcasting stations anywhere in the Philippines and for other purposes. Roll call of members in consideration of House Bill number 4463. Abante, Abaya, Abellanosa, Abu, Abexaldivar, Abunda, Acop, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adjong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Aglipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez France, Alvarez Senaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Matong, Andaya, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Bañas Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barsaga, Bascug, Bautista, Bautista, Bendigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biason, Billones, Piron, Bulilla, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Kabutyan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cawagdan, Cari Castelo, Castro France, Castro Fedinil, Cayetano Alan Peter, Cayetano Maria Laarni, Celeste Chato, Chipeco, Chungalao, Co Angelica, Co Elizalde, Cuanco, Collantes, Crucologo, Cua, Quarespa, Cueva, Culyamat, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Daza de Jesus, de Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, Del Mar, De Los Santos, De Los Cementalio, De Vapor Abdullah, De Vapor Muhammad Khalid, Duavid Dohali Duterte, Di Faustino Inad, Di Faustino Michael III, Di Ian Paul, Ebcas Ecleo, Elago, Enverga, Erisa Erigel, Ermita Buhayin, Escudero, Espina, Espina Estrella, Farinas Ria, Farinas Rudy Cesar, Fernandez Fernando, Ferrer Julian, Ferrer Luis, Flores Pongwan, Fortuno, Frasco, Fuentebella, Gaita, Garbin Garcia, Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo, Jan Garcia, Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Shayon, Gastaya, Gatcholian, Gato, Heron, Go Ed, Go Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurel, Gonzales Nepcali, Gonzales Carlo, Rosetta, Guico, Gullas, Guya, Resco, Ataman Hernandez Herrera, D. Hofer, Haluso, Xavier Jimenez Co, Elisa, Co, Wilton, Konghud, Laban, Lacson, Noel, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lasatid, Lechon, Ligarda, Lim, Kaichong, Lopez, Leola, Lusotan, Macapagalaroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang Magundadato, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Momo, Natividad Daganyo, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles, Jericho, Nograles, Fidel, Nolasco, Nunez, Balanyaon, Omenal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ronnie, Ortega, Juana Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Pajerno, Paduano, Palma, Pancho Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Quimbo, Radasa, Ramirez, Ato, Ramos, Remulla, Revilla Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Romero, Romualdez, Ferdinand Romualdez, Sieda Marie, Romualdo, Romulos, Roque, Sactaran, Sagarbaria, Sacaluran, Salcedo, Samlimbangon, Salo, Sanchez, Sancopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulug, Savillano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Mian, Sansuat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, si Alvarad, Taduran, Talyado, Tambuting, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelina, Tan Shamir, Tan Shari, Tan Tambut, Tejada, Teves, Arnulfo, Teves, Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Chutor, T, Umali Alfonso, Umali Maria Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villafuerte, Villanueva, Brother Eddie, Villanueva Noel, Villar, Villaras Suarez, Villarica, Villalago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora, Ronaldo, Zamora, Waikurat, Zarate, Zubiri.
With 222 voting in the affirmative, 0 negative, 0 abstentions, House Bill number 4463 is now approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the consideration and third reading of House Bill number 861 and request the Secretary General to read the title of the said measure and thereafter call the roll for nominal voting. So move.
Secretary General is directed to read House Bill number 861 and call the roll for voting.
House Bill number 861, an act creating a regular LTO district office in the municipality of Polomolok, South Cotabato, to be known as the LTO license of Polomolok, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. Roll call of members in consideration of House Bill number 861. Abante, Abaya, Abellanosa, Abu, Abigsaldibar, Abunda, Acop, Acosta, Acosalba, Jong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Agdipay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez France, Alvarez Senaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Matong, Andaya, Angara, Aragones, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Aumentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Bañas Nograles, Barbers, Baronda, Bersaga, Bascug, Bautista, Bendigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biason, Billones, Piron, Bolilla, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Brosas, Bulat, Bustos, Kabatbat, Kabutsan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cawagdan, Cari, Castelo, Castro France, Castro Fredinil, Cayetano, Alan Peter, Cayetano, Maria Laarne, Celeste, Chato, Chipeco, Angelica, Cualizalde, Cuanco, Collantes, Crisologo, Cuba, Quaresma, Cueva, Colyamat, Dagok, Daliped, Dalog, Dasa, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor Lawrence, Defensor Michael, Del Mar de los Santos, De los Montalia, De Vapor Abdullah, De Vapor Muhammad Khalid, Duavid Duhali, Duterte, Di Faustino Inat, Di Faustino Michael, Di Ian Paul, Ebcas Ecleo, Ilago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermitabuan, Escudero, Espino, Estrella, Fariñas Ria, Fariñas Rudy Cesar, Fernandez, Fernando, Ferrer Juliet, Ferrer Luis, Flores Pongwan, Fortuno, Frasco, Fuentebella, Gaite, Garbin, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Pablo John, Garcia Vincent, Garin Janet, Garin Sharon, Gasatay, Gatchalian, Gato, Heron, Go Ed, Go Mark, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio, Gonzales Neptali, Gonzales Carlo, Groseta, Gico, Gullas, Guya, Herasco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Halusos, Javier Jimenez ko, Elisa ko, Wilton, Kunhun, Labad, Lacson, Lubed, Lagman, Lagon, Lara, Lasati, Lechon, Legarda, Lim Kaichong, Lopez, Leola, Lusotan, Makapagalaroy, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Mangawang, Magudadato, Marcoleta, Mariano Hernandez, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matba, Matugas, Mendoza, Momo, Natividad Daganyo, Nabanieto, Noel, Nograles, Jerko, Nograles, Juan Fidel, Velasco, Nunes Palanyao, Huaminal, Olivares, Ong Jose, Ong Ronnie, Ortega, Juan Dizon, Pacquiao Alberto, Pacquiao Rogelio, Pajernos, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panotes, Peña, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Puno, Quimbo, Radasa, Ramirez, Sato, Ramos, Remulla, Revilla Reyes, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez, Roman, Romero, Romualdez, Ferdinand, Romualdez, Sieda Marie, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sacdalan, Sagarbaria, Sacaluran, Salcedo, Salimbangon, Salo, Sanchez, Sancopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento, Saulug, Sevillano, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Mian, Sinsuat, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez Aleta, Suarez David, Suntay, si Alvarado, Taduran Talyado, Tambuting, Tan Alisa, Tan Angelia, Tan Shamir, Tan Shari, Tan Tambut, Tejada, Teves, Arnulfo, Teves, Jose, Tiangco, Tolentino, Torres Gomez, Tulfo, Tupas, Chutorti, Umali Alfonso, Mari, Victoria, Unabia, Ungab, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso, Vergara, Villafuerte, Villanueva, Brother Eddie, Villanueva Noel, Villaras Suarez, Villarica Henry, Villago, Yap Eric, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Ronaldo, Zamora Waikurat, Zarate Zubiri.
With 222 voting in the affirmative, 0 negative, 0 abstentions, House Bill 861 is now approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, for the consideration and third reading of House Bill number 5028 and request the Secretary General to read the title of the said measure and thereafter call the roll for nominal voting. So move.
House Secretary General is requested to read House Bill 5028 and call the roll for voting.
House Bill number 5028, an act declaring February 24 of every year a special non-working public holiday in the province of Zamboanga, Sibugay, in commemoration of its founding anniversary, to be known as Araw ng Sibugay. Roll call of members in consideration of House Bill number 5028. Abante, Abaya, Bellanosa, Abu, Abig, Zaldibar, Abunda, Ako, Pacosa, Ako, Salbadjong, Advincula, Agabas, Agaraw, Agripay, Aguinaldo, Albano, Almario, Alonte, Alvarez France, Alvarez Senaro, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante Matba, Amatong, Andaya, Angara, Aragonas, Arbison, Arenas, Arroyo, Atienza, Mentado, Babasa, Bagatsing, Balindong, Baños, Nograles, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barsaga, Bascug, Bautista, Bautista, Bendigan, Belmonte, Benitez, Bernos, Biason, Billones, Piron, Bolilla, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo, Brausas, Bulot, Bustos, Kabatbat, Kabutsan, Cabredo, Cagas, Calderon, Calixto, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Kawagdan, Cari Castelo, Castro France, Castro Fredinil, Cayetano Alan Peter, Cayetano Maria Learni, Celeste Chato, Chipeco, Chungalaw, Co Angelica, Colizaldi, Coanco, Colyantes, Sologo, Cuba, Quaresma, Cueva, Culyamat, Dagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Dasa,